All right, we're going to try something very new today, very much on a last minute occasion, but welcome to this live watch along with the Striking Fury trio. But as you can see, there aren't three people here. It's just me, just Philly, waiting on Panda to get back. Our poor cat Huff has asthma, so he needed medications, and waiting for the doctor to grace us with his presence because he doesn't get off of work for another half hour. And if you're wondering why we're starting this little pod thing as early as we are, well, that's because this game is about to start a lot earlier than what we had originally anticipated. It is currently 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and we were under the impression that we would have a 7 p.m. kickoff. But, well, things change, and so we're just a couple of minutes from the start of the MASL season for your Empire Strikers, your new look Empire Strikers. Obviously, you got the new kits, but a lot of new faces on that team right now. If you're looking currently at the roster as you're watching this game, not that many returnees from last season. And of course, a lot of the changes occur from, well, the top on up. Head coach Jimmy Norberg from the past couple of seasons, the 2021 MASL Coach of the Year, is a transition to the GM role. We bring in Paul Wright and Paul Dougherty, San Diego soccer legends Paul Wright and Paul Dougherty. So big coaching changes, and obviously a lot of big player changes. Personnel changes have been the story of this offseason so far for this young Empire Strikers team. The familiar faces that do come back. Obviously, we've got the captain, Israel Cisse, back into the fold. We bring back Justin Stinson sporting that fresh shaved head. We bring in the likes of Adam James, Alan Perez, Hugo Magana Jr. So a lot of new looks on this team. And, well, this will be a challenging match, a trial by fire type scenario, if you will, because they're going up against the defending MASL Cup, Ron Newman Cup champions, and that of the Chihuahua Savage. The Chihuahua Savage, obviously one of the toughest opponents in the Major Arena Soccer League. And, well, this will be a really good test for head coach Paul Wright and the rest of his staff to see exactly where this team is in terms of its development, where it is in terms of cohesion and team chemistry. And, well, it'll be really important for the veterans to team up with the young players, and a lot of young players on this roster that haven't even played indoor soccer at this level. So it's going to be really interesting. Just want to say thank you for tuning into this. This isn't going to be your traditional play-by-play, just an FYI. This is going to be more of a watch-along. We're going to be kicking back here. I'm in the comforts of my own living room. Normally, Panda, the doctor, and I would be at Corner Sports Arena, high up there in that little perch, calling this game. But because of the fact that, well, it's the Thanksgiving Day holidays, we couldn't get out there altogether. So that's why we're doing this little watch along. And again, this is a trial. So, give us your thoughts, your feedback on what you see here, and let us know in any of the comments what you think about it. But again, not a traditional play-by-play kind of a deal. So here to hang out with y'all. And on that case, hope you're having a fantastic Thanksgiving Day weekend. I will toast you with a glass of red wine. Panda will be joining us momentarily. Our poor cat Huff has asthma, and we've just only learned this recently. So that's been a thorn in our side, and obviously a thorn in his as well. Panda went off to go get his medication so it could rid him of this, or at the very least quell the asthma that he has. But she'll be joining us. She'll be joining us momentarily. So, again, like I said, a lot of new faces on the Strikers team. And as this game progresses, we're going to chat about them. And obviously, we're going to chat about the Chihuahua Savage as well. One thing to note, one of their best players, Jorge Rios, otherwise known as Pareja, he normally wears the number 16. He will not be featuring in this match. In fact, it's going to be a couple of months before we get to see Pareja grace the turf once again. He had a meniscus surgery. He posted about it on social media. I had the opportunity to talk to him earlier today because he's one of my favorite players to watch. He's an exciting young talent, and it's just a shame that the Chihuahua Savage aren't going to get to have him early on in the season. The same story went for last season. He didn't come on until later, and it could be argued that the minute Rios came back to this team, they obviously started firing on all cylinders. They finished second in the West. They went on to upset, one could say, the San Diego Sockers, and then went on to compete and beat the Baltimore Blast. It was a really fun final. And as you can see, we are underway at Corner Sports Arena, albeit, hi, everybody. Obviously, you're hanging out with me. I'm on my couch. So we're about to see and learn a lot of new things together, folks. There are a lot of players on this team that I only met for the first time just this past Wednesday when I went to practice. And for those of you that are curious, the Y in Upland, the team practices there on a regular basis. So if you're an early bird, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is what the Strikers typically practice. So you could get on in there and go in and meet head coach Paul Wright and Paul Dougherty and see what the deal is. See Panda coming in the door, gracing us with our presence. Panda, just to let you know, Huff did stop coughing. So wanted to let you know there. She's going to join us momentarily. And yeah, we're all, again, going to watch this team together. Holding the ball right now is the Strikers pick from the MASL Combine, Riley Uri. A lot of people had incredible things to say about this young man. He had impressed a lot of people. Our good friend Matt Huber over at In the Box had the opportunity to go watch these players compete and train in Utica. And there's Howard Miller Jr. Howard Miller Jr. scoring the first goal of the game. Tremendous. I hope the delay wasn't too much on your end. What a big start for the young man coming through. Played some time with the St. Louis Ambush, obviously, and the Baltimore Blast. And, well, he blasted one past Chihuahua. And unbeknownst to a lot of us, the Strikers go up early in this game. It took less than, not that long for them to strike. Almost 90 seconds before the first goal of the game. And that was a huge goal. Howard Miller Jr. is going to be an integral piece to this Empire Strikers team. Head coach Paul Wright loves this young man. Our managing partner, Jeff Burham, loves this young man. He's already out in the community doing his thing, and it's fantastic. For those of you wondering who is starting in goal for the Empire Strikers, I believe that's going to be Brandon Gomez. Brandon Gomez, most recently featured in the NISA for the Los Angeles Sports. Here's a young man who I've heard nothing but good things about. I've had complete strangers get a hold of me and let me know that this kid is the real deal. There's a shot, and there you go. You see Gomez in between the pipes taking care of business. Good on his feet, very agile, very versatile. He is hungry. And what I can tell you about the Empire Strikers team, and that's a tremendous save. A really good look by number 11. And, well, since the rosters have completely changed since the last time I checked, number 11, Abdul Mansoureh. Didn't realize he was wearing number 11. Abdul Mansoureh is back on the Empire Strikers. He featured during that 2021 season in which this team went to the Ron Newman Cup final. If you recall, he was the goal scorer for Empire in the minigame to put the Strikers up. Take a look at that. A tremendous save, I believe. Just judging by the presence. It could be Ivan Terry Munoz. Would need to get a verification on that. Again, a lot of things, came about differently. And, hey, a familiar face to this Empire Armada. We welcome back Panda.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited for this season to be underway and to get to see our new crop of boys out here on the turf. And, like we said, there's a bunch of them. And I feel like this is the first time we've really gotten to see these jerseys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, call them kits, call them jerseys. We're going to call it soccer. So obviously, if we're going to use American terms, we're going to stick to the jerseys. They, hey, you got comments in the chat there, Panda?
Hi, Janetta. Good to see you all on here. Hopefully, we can make this a little fun and entertaining and informative. Like we said, I'm sure you explained to everybody why we even wanted to do this in the first place, which was...
I didn't. Why don't you tell everybody? I was just too busy getting flustered and getting along. I'm thinking of like poor Huff and his asthma. I'm thinking about the fact that we're starting this a little earlier. Why don't you tell everybody out there why we're doing this?
Well, I'm sure most of you that are big fans of this team know that we went on a pretty big overhaul, rebrand, rebuild, whatever you want to call it. And we have a whole bunch of new faces out here. And I think it's important for us to kind of talk about them. If you're listening to the Spanish broadcast, you're no doubt entertained, absolutely. But you may not be able to learn as much as you would like to from that because they don't probably know as much about these boys as we do. So I think we just really want to take this time while we watch this game to highlight who's out there and have you guys all get to know who your Empire Strikers are now, because we've gotten the chance to do that. And if you haven't checked out the interviews that we did with them, I did one with Abdul Mansoureh. I did one with Bryce Watson and Garrett Bloom. Got to know them really well. So check those out if you get a chance. But we just want to talk about this game as it goes. It's good to see Adam James out there. Let me tell you.
The last time we were in Chihuahua, and obviously we could talk about it now, in between the trip from Monterey to Chihuahua, Adam James had an appendicitis. They had to remove his appendix. So he didn't have the opportunity to really enjoy his time at Corner Sports Arena or in the district of Chihuahua. Look, Chihuahua, we've said it on 100 occasions. It's an awesome, awesome town. Distrito Uno, where the hotel is, where we stayed at, hung out, restaurants like Mochomo, good stuff. But poor Adam James was in the hospital at that time, and nothing like a trip down south to the border, having an appendix rupture and going, oh, crap, that's going to really stunt the fun that I'm going to be having down here.
So it's so great to see him out there. He gets a little bit of revenge, a little redemption on that trip. Oh,
and that ping-ponged around.
Off of the side there. Wow. This is going to be a tough team. I think we knew coming into this that Chihuahua, being the defending champions, having a lot of, real solid cohesion, teamwork going along, that they're going to be a tough team. But you have to look at it from another perspective as well. Empire's got to be an incredibly tough team to play against, too, especially in this first half. I think it's going to be a little crazy for Chihuahua to adjust because they don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. I don't think any of you guys know what to expect either, and that can make this team very dangerous. I think the key is to get out early, try to run the score up as much as they can, because this Chihuahua team is going to come out at the half and adjust to what they have seen, and they're going to make it a little more difficult on this team, I think, in the second half of this game.
Yeah, hey, Marcus Jordan, former member of the Ontario Fury, joining us. Welcome, Marcus. For sure. The one thing we can say is there's not a lot of footage on this team. They did have an exhibition game down in Tijuana just a week or two ago, a game in which they ended up winning. And there's an attempt, ping-ponging all over the rafters at Corner Sports Arena. And so head coach Paul Wright and Paul Dougherty are really confident that this Strikers team is going to come back with a couple of dubs. And so far, they are looking really good. Again, no game footage on this. These are the advantage you can say, Panda, is with a lot of young players that haven't played this game, that don't know anything about, you see that ricocheting off the iron. That plays to the Strikers' advantage because they don't care that the Savage are defending champions. I'm sure some of them don't even know El Flaco, Brian Macias, is there. So that bodes well in our favor. There's an attempt, and we got to say, Brandon Gomez, keep your eyes on him. He's going to be an extremely talented player. A familiar face that y'all are going to recognize on the turf for the Strikers, Stefan Mijatovic, who you just see on that instant replay, sliding on the turf and the carpet of Corner Sports Arena.
It's going to be an exciting game. Both of these teams, going to have kind of that running gun offense that I'm sure you've talked about already. The small space of this arena, just going to make it real dynamic, a lot of end-to-end action, and that's exactly how the Strikers want to play this game. So this is going to be a lot of fun, no doubt. And again, seeing them on the board early, I think that's going to do nothing but give them a lot of confidence, is exactly what they need. So I'm excited. I'm just happy the season has started. I'm happy to be able to see this on my screen again. And who do you think we should watch out for?
Well, obviously, you're going to have to keep your eye on the veteran presence. Justin Stinson wearing number 10. You won't recognize the shaved head because that's a new thing. Normally, me and Justin would kind of, go step in toe by toe with our haircuts. I don't think I'm going to be able to rock that dude, but he's going to be relied upon for obviously his talent, his abilities, his amazing goal-scoring prowess, his dribbling. But as a veteran of this team, all these young players are going to be looking at him and Captain Israel Cisse for guidance. Justin just had a kid. He's got a second one coming. So he's probably a bit more laser-focused than he has been in the past. Not to say that he hasn't been. Obviously, he's one of the most talented players ever. But having a kid's got to do something to sharpen your focus.
Let's see what I wonder if this is how off this is. I don't know. I hope we're not messing anybody up.
Well, we're not here to do this as a play-by-play type deal, folks. You'll get plenty of that starting December 15th. We're just here to hang out with you and give you an alternative just to listen to in case you don't want to watch the Spanish broadcast. Although I love the team that's down there, Carlos and company. They're fantastic. We're just here to hang out, have a good time, and obviously tell you about some of our guys.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions there in the chat, if you're on YouTube, we'll see them a lot quicker. If you're on Facebook, give us a moment to get out there and scoop them up. But if you have any questions about any of these guys, or you want to know some information, we'll do our best to help you out. We've definitely gotten to know this squad a little bit over the last couple months, and I want you guys to know them as well as we do, because there's a lot of faces that are new. I know we're really sad to see some of them leave. There's definitely some big shoes to fill, to say the least. But I think this team can do it. What do you think?
I mean, obviously, I don't want to be overly optimistic. Obviously, if you're just joining us right now and you're wondering, wow, the Empire is already up. Yeah, Howard Miller Jr. scored 90 seconds in there. All right, Marcus, so Roque hasn't gotten together with the team yet. From what we've been told, he will be in Monterey on Sunday. So keep your eye out on him. Roque is going to be a part of this team. He just had some stuff he needed to tend to. Couldn't make the trip down to Chihuahua, but he should be featuring for Monterey. At least that's what we were told.
Yeah.
Great questions.
Yeah, questions like that, those are fantastic. I love when we can answer and address them and help make you guys a little more knowledgeable in the process of this. So
Roberto Escalante, I mean, one of the key members of the Savage team these past couple of years returns, and well, he's going to be a player to keep an eye out for all season. I think he's one of the best defenders, one of the most impressive offensive defenders in this league. And obviously, we see Brian Macias, Flaquito, wearing the captain's armband. I mean, this is a team that is just so talented. They loaded up with a few Brazilian players over the course of the offseason. Sure, they had a few players go on over to Monterey, and that of obviously Torres. There are a couple other players. This isn't a play-by-play. I haven't done my homework there, but
you haven't made your game cards yet?
no, I mean, so I'm fortunate enough to say that now I'm doing a lot of gigs at UC Riverside, calling basketball games on ESPN. So I've been a little preoccupied with that as I've had a little bit of time to do that. And so, well, don't worry. Just come December 15th, I'll be ready to go. Yeah, Brad, I agree. Brad in the house, Baltimore Blast. Heck yes, son of a legend.
That was going to be my next question. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on the uniforms, because I think these are a play on streets or roads. I can't remember.
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
But yeah, I'd love to know what everyone's thoughts are. Seeing them sometimes just on social media, or somebody wearing one, is a little different than seeing them out there on the turf and them running around in them. And I think they look good. I kind of like the gradient. I like the shorts. They're fun. At least the colors match. So, and they look more purple than I thought. They looked a lot more pink when we saw them.
Yeah, for sure.
They are kind of pink, I'll be honest. So, but there's Mo Guy, another one returning to the striker squad. He definitely is going to be an integral part of our squad. From knowing how they were last year, he grew a lot being a part of the Empire Strikers 2 team, the Jets.
Yep.
So he's going to be one to keep your eye on. And we've got a lot of defensive efforts that are coming through right now. Look at this pressure right now.
And you got to love that. Obviously, this team, they got a lot younger. Obviously, when you're getting younger, and I'm an old guy, I can say this, the endurance is a lot different when you're 24 as opposed to being 34. So, look, changes needed to be made. The thing that guts me, obviously, is we get so close to this team as fans, and obviously we as a part of staff. I'll address that in a second. We love these players. We get to know them. We get to see them. But obviously, sports being a business, sometimes changes need to be made in order for progress to occur. Now, I'll be honest, there were a lot more changes than we thought. And we got to check. Oh, just missing.
Oh, what a shot. Who was that? It's hard to see.
27. I think that was 27. If that was Gerardo Jurado, who was formerly a member of the San Diego Sockers. Now, David Wayne Shipley asks a really good question. Did the new coach know Frank was leaving? None of us knew that Frank was leaving. Oh, and we got a save by Brandon Gomez. It's just something that, occurred. I can't tell you the specifics behind things, obviously, because we're not part of that. But, at the time that head coach Paul Wright and Paul Dougherty became a part of this team, even as recently as the USA-Mexico game, nobody had any inclination that Frank was going to be a player that wasn't going to be on the Strikers. I myself included, and Panda as well. So, no, that came as a big surprise. Obviously, he goes over to Utica, and that brings on Quentin Swift and Stefan Mijatovic, who I got to tell you, the King of Chicago is a lot bigger in person than I really thought.
He is a very big guy there. He's going to be a great guy to have back there in that back line. Excited to see him develop with this squad. But one guy I got to keep talking about is, man, our goalie is standing on his head in this game. What did you talk about him already?
Yeah. I think were you not here? No, you weren't here. You were out there getting Huff's medication. Which, by the way, at halftime, you should go out there and give our poor cat his asthma meds.
I just did, and he ran under the bed. He hates me. I have to give all the meds.
You gave it to him, so he took it?
I did. I took it.
Well, that's good. He's going to stop coughing. Howard Miller Jr. in there, pressuring the ball.
Oh,
Howard Miller Jr., the first goal scorer of this young season. He's going to be fun to watch. He had a really good game in that USA versus Mexico game. We see Adam James going down on the ground. It's
Justin Stinson.
Oh, it's Justin Stinson. I'm sorry. I didn't notice the colored hair.
Sorry, Justin Stinson's pink-shaved head looks like a bald head.
It looked like a bald head, and I really thought it was Adam James.
Stepped on his foot.
Oh.
Hopefully he's okay. We know he can be a bit delicate at times. You got to, keep his ankles and knees intact, so hopefully he did well. But, yeah, his pink-shaved head definitely looks like a bald head.
He's a tough kid, man. St. Charles, Missouri. His father, Jerry Stinson, raised a really exceptional young man. He's not going to be somebody that's ever going to go out easily. And it looks like he's strengthened up a bit. What do we got here? Janetta G asks a question. I noticed Thiago and Maicon are on the inactive list. Will they be playing this season? It all boils down to figuring this whole thing out with P1 visa issues. Obviously, that's been a thorn not only in the side of the strikers, but in a thorn in the side of everybody in the league. So while that's still an issue that looms, until the United States deems this to be the type of activity, professional sport that it is, we're going to continue to go out there fighting. We know that our managing partner, Jeff Burham, and our general manager, Jimmy Nordberg and Oliver King, they're fighting this aggressively, tooth and nail, day in and day out. So we hope that there's going to be some resolution to this P1 visa issue stuff.
We've got a top of the arc restart right now, and we see Mijatovic up there. Oh, this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, rocking the number I wore in high school, 24. I appreciate that. Also rocking a pretty sweet mullet.
Yeah.
There's an attempt. Oh, that's going to go high into the rafters. The chemistry that I've already seen develop off the turf between Stinson and Mijatovic is fun. Obviously, they represented Team USA in the World Mini Football Games over in the Middle East, and they got to spend some time together. They know each other. They're good friends off the field, off the turf, and so they should be developing some significant chemistry on it as well. Abdul Mansour into the game. Look, Panda, I got to tell you, a guy like Paul Wright, speed to burn. Abdul Mansour is the perfect type of player for Paul's system. This is a kid that ran track, played collegiate soccer over in Maryland, and he's one of the fastest kids I've ever had the opportunity to see with my own eyes.
He's super fast, really good on the ball, a lot of fun to watch, and so happy to see him back on this Strikers squad. Again, did an interview with him. He's a fantastic player. Oh
save!
Gosh, the saves, man. Oh, all right. So he's definitely showing he's earned that starting role in goal for sure. So.
Yeah, and obviously we still have the likes of Brian Orozco that comes back. We have Solorio, who played for Galaxy 2 in MLS next, and obviously what we had back in the day with USL. So we've got some players on this team. Like this is see Mo Guy in there battling it out, being sandwiched in between two savage defenders. There's a lot of hunger. And a lot of desire on the Strikers team. And while it isn't the same faces that you recall, there's no Frank Tayu, there's no Nestor, there's no Johnny Topete. Obviously, this is a team that represents us, the Inland Empire, this part of Southern California that's not San Diego. So what we've seen in practice is exciting, and these kids are young and fast, and they need your support. So we hope to see you out there at Toyota Arena on December 15th as the Strikers open their season.
Riley Uri right there with a great ball. Did you talk any about him? I don't know who you've highlighted yet, and I don't want to talk too much about the same players, but Riley Uri being part of the he was at the Combine.
Janetta G asked a question. I'm going to point this to you, Pan, and then I'll obviously touch it as well. Who do you think our toughest opponents will be, not counting San Diego?
Well, I think Chihuahua is always going to be one of our toughest opponents. Just the way they play, the style they play, and where they play, and just they're just a great team all around. So I think this is the perfect test for our team coming into this because I think they're certainly going to be a tough one. But I think we had talked about this a little bit at the when we went to practice about the fact that the type of offense that we're running is going to be great against teams like this and in those smaller arenas. I think some of our toughest opponents are going to be some of those teams that do play in the bigger style, that play a more organized type of ball where they move it around and stuff. I'm curious to see how we stack up against them and in that of like a Kansas City Comets or a Tacoma Stars or something like that.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I mean, obviously, a young, hungry, exciting team is going to do well in arenas such as Corner Sports Arena because Chihuahua's going to want to run, they're going to want to press, and these are young guys that Paul Wright's going to want to see run too. So yeah, on teams that are going to do more of a holding style of attack, that's going to be a different ball game. I know the Strikers team is going to want to run, but I mean, as far as who the other challenges are concerned, look, I'm going to say everybody that we face until we have an idea of what this team is going to bring to us, until we see what kind of identity that this team is going to have and develop, everybody's going to be a challenge. We're all in the same boat, myself, Panda, and the doctor included. We don't know what to expect from this team, but there is a lot of confidence going into the season, and it starts from the two Pauls and honestly from the players themselves. Mijatovic and Stinson told us, their expectations are, we're going to make playoffs. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So this team is shooting that way.
Yeah, I think I love that goal. I mean, as you guys all know, we have failed to make the playoffs for the last 2 years. So that was kind of a signal that we needed to shake things up. We needed to change things. And that's exactly what they did coming into the season. And I know a lot of people weren't happy about it, but that's how sports is, unfortunately. We do shake things up. We're not in practice every day. We don't see how things are coming together. We like the players we like for a lot of great reasons, but you've got a coach who's coming in and he's trying to run an offense and a style a certain way. And he's kind of like got a puzzle in front of him, and he only knows what pieces fit in that puzzle. So, and I think that's just exactly what he's been doing. And, time is going to tell how this team has been put together, how well it has been put together, and if it's a success or not. And we're not going to find that out in this first game. No. We're not going to find that out, probably in the first 2 or 3 games. It's going to take a while for it to, so I hope everybody will hold back, their criticisms and their, side eyes for a little bit and just say, okay, let's give it a chance. And then we can kind of come out and say, okay, this was a bad decision, or this was a fantastic decision, or, I love what they've done. And I don't know. I think we got a lot of things on the horizon. I think a lot of good things, to be honest. So.
And look, I got to echo what Brad said. Impressive first quarter. And one could argue that the Strikers really did win that first quarter. So 15 minutes in the books, we're already leading the defending champions. Look, crazier things have happened. For the Strikers to go out there and combat this team, the Chihuahua Savage, the defending champions, a team that for the most part returns good 90% of their squad, that's a good sign. And I'm feeling pretty optimistic about things. But as we all know, in the world of indoor soccer, you could go into the fourth quarter with a 7-2 lead and still blow the game. So still plenty of action, but 15 minutes in to the Paul Wright and Paul Dougherty era, and I got to tell you, it's been an impressive 15 minutes. I agree.
Yeah, no doubt. Can they sustain it? That is going to be the question. Is Chihuahua going to be able to kind of alter the way that they've been playing to how the Empire is playing in a way that they're able to shut them down? Now, granted, the way that our defense and the way that our keeper is playing, it's not going to matter if they hold our offense off. If they can't score, then that's the key at the end of the day.
Yeah. While we got a moment in between quarters, we've got to talk about real quickly about that very first game between the Milwaukee Wave and the St. Louis Ambush. What's up, Suddy? How you doing, my man? Nothing but love, Greg Suddy. Suddy on Soccer. He's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, interviewing a lot of players, a lot of coaches, a lot of talent in this league. Make sure you check out Suddy on Soccer. Like, subscribe. He does a good thing. Check out our buddy Brad, Gio, and Phil, Goals and Boards. Check out the boys on In the Box. Supposedly there's rumblings about an all-female podcast starting within the MASL. We don't know anything about that, but there's a lot of really great content out there. And folks, we're a DIY punk rock style kind of a league. So You want to be involved in this league and, put in your 2 cents? Start something. Keeper's Corner, Utica City, they run a great show. Obviously, yeah, exactly. Kansas City with Eric Bergerud and everybody over there. I mean, this is a league that, well, the owners are they're going to do as much as they can. It's up to us. It's up to us, the fans, to go out there and promote it, bring friends, advertise, post about it. We're going to help develop this game. So get out there and do what you got to do.
Absolutely. So we love to see the content. We love to see people talking about it. The more eyes on the sport, the more it's going to grow and the bigger it's going to get and the better it's going to end up for all of us. So
yeah, for sure. I was going to talk about Milwaukee and St. Louis, but we could do that at halftime. Abraham Navarro asks this question. So many new players, surprise transfers. What's your outlook on today's team going out? Look, I'm cautious, obviously. And as this game develops, maybe I grow cautiously optimistic. Maybe I grow optimistic. But we haven't had that much opportunity to see this team train. We went to practice for the first time this past Wednesday. And from what we saw a lot of running. And so this is a young team that's going to be hungry and run fast. So if there's anything that we can say, especially, with the likes of the two Pauls coaching, endurance is not going to be a factor. And this isn't going to be a team that's just going to hold the ball and kick back and chill. This is going to be a team that's going to attack. And, well, as the great Wayne Gretzky once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If they're going to go out there, attack, those opportunities are going to find themselves. And, well, again, it's up to the veterans to go out there and create that cohesion between them and the young kids who have never played this game. So cautious is where I'll be for the time being until I'm proven otherwise. What about you?
I mean, like kind of what I said, it's going to take me a couple of games to really see how our team plays together and what my expectations are and everything. I trust that, again, Paul Dougherty and Paul Wright, they've seen this team in and out of practice. They know exactly what pieces they have to their puzzle. And I trust that they made the right decisions, but it's going to take time for us to know. And, as a fan of the Strikers, I'm cautiously optimistic that they're going to do great things. Individually, we have some fantastic players. We have some fantastic talent. It's fast, like you said, it's young, and it's precise with just the right amount of veteran leadership out there. So I think it has a great recipe for success, but just got to make sure that it does all come together the way that they're hoping that it does. But I'm excited for it. I mean, we needed changes. I don't think anybody out there is going to disagree that when you miss playoffs 2 years in a row, that something doesn't need to change. And that's exactly what happened. Now, maybe it was too much change for some people, but time will tell.
See Andy Nunez, I believe, in the match. I mean, he featured for the Empire Jets, scoring a lot of goals down in M2. He's going to be somebody fun to watch. But obviously, Brandon Gomez, the goalkeeper, is going to be the person to keep your eye on. He saw 12 shots come his way within that first quarter, and he made a couple of really good saves. So, I mean, we've had a couple of goalkeepers of the year in the MASL, and that of Clayson DeLima and Chris Toth that have, obviously moved on. Chris is in Tacoma, and we have yet to see where Clayson's going to end up. We got nothing but love for both of them. I'm actually rocking a Chris Toth keeper jersey. But Brandon Gomez is going to be a player that's really going to have to, he won't have time to adjust because this team is going to rely on him heavily because there's going to be a lot of people gunning for him as the season progresses. And Abraham, see you. Can't wait to see you at Toyota Arena as well.
Can't wait to see you all December 15th. That first home match is going to be a fun one.
No, it certainly will, but we still got a couple of games in between now and then. Obviously, this one we're focusing on. We see Israel Cisse rolling over into the bench, the captain wearing number 23. You got to wonder what's on his mind. I mean, he's seen everything that you can possibly see from this franchise. I mean, he is the longest reigning member, period, whether it be staff, whether it be player. He's seen it all. You'd have to wonder what Cisse thinks with this team right here.
Well, he's probably just happy to be playing and thankful for the opportunity because he's probably one of the happiest, most jovial guys I think I've ever met. He's always upbeat. He's always positive. You only see his little bits of frustration right on the turf where it should be. And outside of that, he's just such a nice guy and such a great guy to have out there leading a lot of these new guys. If you're new to this league and especially to this team, I think he's a great mentor to have, someone that can definitely steer you in the right direction when you're kind of the newcomer to this.
Suddy asked a really good question. Bryce Watson. For those of you who don't know who Bryce Watson is, he was a young man who, well, earned the opportunity to be on this team. So when Frank Tayu had his King's Cup tournament over at the Y Upland a couple of months ago, the player of the tournament, or the player that was the most worthy, would have an opportunity to get an all expense paid trip to the MASL Combine to have the shot at impressing a coach and being part of an MASL team. Now, I know Bryce played collegiately at at Fullerton, which is a really, really good school to be at in the Big West Conference. And he's gone on to do some things. I know he plays out in Venice Beach in those tournaments, but he earned his opportunity. And, well, you're a better person to, speak on Bryce because you had the opportunity to interview him. So what do you think? Is he going to get much playing time?
I think we'll see him. I think as he develops along throughout this season, I think it's just going to take more time on the turf and adjusting to the game. He played a lot of outdoor, but he does have, I think, some of that. Oh, what a save.
Brandon Gomez again.
She's so definitely showing why he's in between can't really call it the pipes, can I?
I mean, you can always call it the pipes. I mean, look, Popper, Carlos Hernandez. I mean, he's a guy who obviously is a lethal shooter and a lethal player. And Brandon Gomez just don't think so. Gave him one of those. No.
But yeah, I do think we'll see him. I think it's just going to take some more time adjusting this game, refining his decision-making skills on the ball, because this game is so fast. And it's so easy to make the wrong decision in those moments. It's just you don't have time to think about it. So I think getting more time on his legs and, more kind of real game time situations is the only way you can really develop that. So I think we'll see him. I think he'll be somebody that as the season goes along, we'll see him on the roster and we'll see him make,
he's already on the roster.
Well, I mean, the starting roster.
I'm just messing with you.
But no, I think it would be a lot of fun to be able to see him out there. Just again, like most of this, just give it time. Give it time. It's going to happen. We got a lot of players to develop right now.
Yeah, and look, Chihuahua's got obviously a solid team as well. I mean, you got number 19 on there, Adriano Nunez, one of the new signings they had from Brazil, and that's obviously something that Chihuahua's done to stack themselves up, losing the likes of a Torres to Monterrey. Monterrey got beefed up with some really good players. You got Rojo from San Diego, Pollo from San Diego. I mean, Monterrey is going to be a really good team as well. We're going to have the daunting task of having to face them on Sunday. They're going to find their way into Toyota Arena during the regular season, but we're not going to see them as much as we're going to see Chihuahua, Tacoma, and San Diego because, well, the Flash, as a result of the realignment in the Florida Tropics not being in this season, Monterrey's playing on the East this season.
So crazy.
Hey, look, we love this beautiful world and sport of indoor soccer. I mean, we've seen a lot of things in these past few years. And by the way, MASL, 10 years, baby, 10 years. Happy 10 years. Obviously, this rendition.
There he is.
There's Bryce Watson right there, sporting number 77.
There we go. So
I have to find out why he chose that number.
77.
I know that's not the year he was born.
No. I don't.
It's not even the year you were born, or me.
What are you saying?
We're old.
You're calling me old?
I'm calling us old. Compared to guys like Bryce Watson, we's old.
Young at heart, all right?
Well, in that case, I'm 15. Nope. Oh, and that was a tremendous shot. Obviously, Chihuahua was knocking on the door. That shot had some trajectory, and with authority, Chihuahua ties the game. I got to take a look at that replay again. Que golazo, amigo.
Whew, man, wasn't it? I'm sure this is off a little bit, and you guys probably saw that way. I mean, there's nothing he could do on that. That was such a rocket. I mean,
Quique Cañas, no surprise there. Look at that rocket. Oh.
Unfortunately, off that, it was a poor clearance by Cisse. Kind of just popped it up to him, gave him a nice little bunny shot to hit. And now we've got a tie ball game. So now it's really going to be a question on if Empire can adjust and get back in the scoring line because, they haven't had a whole lot of chances knocking on the door. They've kind of been a little more defensive in their battle since they scored, which, I can understand. So let's see if we can get some more shots on target. I don't know what the original stats were. Did you see the stats after the first?
Yeah, 12 shots for Chihuahua, 5 for the Strikers. You see the Savage in on the counter. Like I said, we're not going to do play-by-play. I'm going to save that. Oh, cheeky pass. Oh. And you got to credit the fact that it's pre-season. Obviously, it's the start of the season. A lot of members on the Savage have been playing, but well, I mean, they can't say their shots have really been on target.
Oh, now we're level. Is there a fox running around in the background? Don't they usually have that like?
You're thinking like Premier League games.
Do you see it in the back?
No, I don't see any fox. Oh,
yeah, you do.
Well, he's not really running around. He's more like shuffling around.
What's he for? Is that supposed to be it's a Chihuahua? Never mind. It's a Chihuahua.
It's a Chihuahua. Suddy, you're the youngest at heart out of all of us, my man. I mean, the fact that, like, with everything that you deal with on off the wall, you're younger than all of us, because I'd be the old man get off my lawn guy if I administered that website. You, my friend, not only are a gentleman, a scholar, and a saint, but you're younger at heart than even I am.
Got to get some shots off. Definitely got to be a little bit more of an offensive threat. I feel at this point this would be a huge win, I think, for Empire, and definitely set the tone for the season, and give them just that much needed probably confidence that they're probably looking for, because they don't really have anything to rely on yet.
Well, they're not a team playing without confidence. There's no lack of that. That's for sure. I mean, they're out there hustling, going after every ball, and that's exactly what you want to see. I think already, head coach Paul Wright and assistant coach Paul Dougherty have this team trending in a pretty positive direction as well. We're a quarter and change, almost a full half into the season, and well, it's 1-1. The fact that Chihuahua only has one goal, that already to me is a win thus far.
Do you remember what the scoreline was in the first half when we went down to Chihuahua last season?
No, I was dealing with gout. I was remembering how much pain I was in.
It was definitely something to 0. I think it was like they ran it up. It was like 9-0 at the half. It wasn't great.
No, we haven't been very fortunate on Mexican soil, that's for sure. I mean, last season, winning in Arena Monterrey, Frank Tayu's free kick propelled us to our first ever victory against the Monterrey Flash. I mean, that was amazing. But I could tell you, having been down there more times than not. Oh,
nice takeaway. That's Riley Uri.
Riley Uri, yeah, our draft pick, number 2 in the MASL Combine. Like, we've never had that much luck at Corner Sports Arena, but this is honestly the best I've seen our team play in Corner Sports Arena, and we've been down there together calling games. This is pretty solid.
I mean, I can't wait to hear everybody's thoughts at the half on what they think about how the Strikers team's playing. But yeah, I mean, I think we've definitely we're probably surprising Chihuahua, if anything. Probably caught them maybe sleeping a little, taking a little bit of us for granted, and knowing that, we actually have a pretty good team out there, and they're going to have to make some adjustments if they want to come out and dominate the way that they probably thought that they were going to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they celebrated earlier. Oof, that was a tremendous goal. You're looking at Enrique Kike Cañas scoring the first goal of the season for the Chihuahua Savage. Taking a look at it again, I mean, what a rocket, an absolute rocket. But we got to credit Howard Miller Jr. He's the one that opened up his scoring account early, less than 90 seconds to start the first quarter. And that's where we're at right now. Score 1-1. Chihuahua have had the lion's share of shots on goal, on target, and Brandon Gomez has made a lot of tremendous saves. Obviously, you're seeing him let one go, but his eye was on it. His hands were on it. I mean, that shot had a lot of mustard on it, Panda.
Yeah, it did. Mustard.
Zenf, Tapatio. I'm hungry.
I know. We've been trying to set this thing up literally all afternoon and dealing with my beloved.
Our beloved.
You haven't given him one medication.
I've run out and taken him to the doctor.
I'm just kidding.
This is what happens when you run a show with your significant other folks.
But our poor asthmatic cat. So it's been a tumultuous evening, and then the game getting moved up an hour on top of it.
Yeah, well, we weren't ready for that. I mean, we weren't even technologically ready. Hell, I don't even know if we're technologically ready right now. I mean, can I get a thumbs up? I mean, are we good? Can you hear us? Is the latency fine? Like, I don't even know. Like, we just started
if
things.
There's anything I know about this group out there, if something's wrong, don't let us know. Don't worry.
That's true. MASL fans are very, they're brutally honest, if anything. So, or just brutal. I don't know about brutally honest, but definitely brutal. Sometimes. But we love all of y'all, the lovers and the haters.
Nobody that I've seen in the chat that was one of those. So there we have some fantastic fans, and happy to see them here joining us on this crazy idea journey, whatever we decided to do here.
Oh, that would have been a beautiful opportunity for Gerardo Jurado.
Yeah, against his former team,
No, San Diego, my
former
dear.
team. I meant the other team.
The other team that hot take.
Wait,
You said you don't like.
do you like the Sockers?
Does anybody who's a fan of the Empire Strikers like the Sockers? We respect them.
Do I like the I like the players.
Oh, I love the players. I love the
staff.
staff. Do I like losing to our rival? No, heck no.
Absolutely not. Come on now. That was not breaking news. Cheese. I know. I'm hungry too. We haven't eaten since we were at.
Yeah, we had some bratwurst and some pretzel. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Oh, Suddy's giving us a thumbs up. All right, cool.
Thank you. Is that how off we are with the?
Well, no. I mean, usually there's a lag between what we're saying and what gets heard. I guess you could say.
So we got a foul. We're gonna get a free kick here.
Riley Uri, Gerardo Jurado, Momo, Justin Stinson. And there's an attempt just above the crossbar and into the netting by Gerardo Jurado. I love Steph's hair. I really, really do. He's really excited and happy to be in LA. We asked him about it. He's only been here for a couple of weeks, but Steph was just like, "Oh, this is great." He's already taken in a Rams game, already taken in a Lakers game. I mean, he's enjoying LA life thus far, and we love LA.
Yes, we do. Right now, just according to the stats online, Chihuahua is out shooting us 17-6. So we definitely need to find some more opportunities to at least test their keeper.
Hey, Alex Saunders in the house. Hey, what's up, Alex? Alex was a part of the Empire Jets. The Empire Jets last season. Featured in goal. An outstanding young man. We miss you, Alex. Hope you're doing all right, my friend. Oh, we see a quick counter by the Savage. Oh, another shot that's off target. Again, I don't want to give you all the plays-by-plays because I don't know how off we are versus whatever Twitch stream you're on. That's why we're not doing play-by-plays.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a weird lag, and I can't imagine us doing that, and then they're at a timeout or a commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody wants to see that.
Oh, big shot. No, nobody wants to see that at all. Although you and I watched about 1 million Culver City Mazda commercials, a lot of Yamaha commercials, and thanks to the company Hims, I feel like I might need, some of their products.
Yeah. If you ever watch anything on Hulu, it learns you, and it will give you targeted ads.
What do you mean learns me? It doesn't learn me. I never Googled erectile dysfunction products. What are you talking about?
You have Hims in your
Hims for hair. I got to maintain a cool mohawk kind of a deal. I'm not looking for ED stuff.
It's all the same company, though. You can't pick and choose.
They started out with hair stuff.
Exactly.
Then they all of a sudden started prescribing antidepressants and whatnot. How the hell do you go from hair to ED stuff and all right? That's something else.
Can we not?
Yeah.
No one wants to hear that.
But Hims, if you want to sponsor our team and our podcast, we're okay with it. Hims, the hair grower and other thing grower.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, everybody. This is unhinged today.
Right. Look, I said we're having fun. This is a casual conversation. We're not doing anything or saying anything off color.
Let's take away.
A big time goal by the Savage, and that's got to take a look at that replay again. I mean, obviously there was a defensive clearance right there. I don't like seeing it from that angle.
Yeah.
Javier Gallegos, I believe, was the goal scorer, number 10. Yep, try to get the clearance. Steph just missed it. Yep, Javier Gallegos. He is a new player to this Chihuahua Savage team.
It's a great takeaway. Just no one there to help clean it up there, unfortunately. I mean, he did his job, I think, in that moment. And unfortunately, there's probably too many people in there that just couldn't see how he could get on that ball.
Yeah.
All right. Come on, boys.
All right, so the team finds itself in a very unique position for the season, and that's being down on enemy territory. Howard Miller Jr. had himself a crack at it, the first goal scorer of the game. Yeah. Israel Cisse, he has seen some things not only with the Ontario Fury, not only with the Empire Jets, but with Team USA. Saw some things as a member of the LA Galaxy, playing there, having a locker. He was a locker room neighbor with David Beckham. I'll never forget the interview we had with him on Striking Fury very early on in the inception of that pod when Izzy just freaked out.
He was David Beckham dropped trowel right next to him, and he's like,
one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in our time in sports media. Popper, I'm gonna kick it out.
No play-by-play. It's confusing.
Yeah, Miguel Angel Diaz.
This is a good way for us to learn the players too, as we're watching. Like, okay, like seeing how they move, seeing, because sometimes you can't see numbers, but if you can recognize silhouettes and the way people run and move the ball, then that kind of helps, right?
No, I completely agree. Again, we're getting accustomed to our team. I mean, a lot of the members of the Chihuahua Savage we recognize, but obviously they have some new players that weren't on the team last season. The defending champions. Didn't take them long. Oh, and there's a shot, and there's a save. I lost. I was looking at the stuffed animal behind the goal.
The Chihuahua.
Are you sure that's a Chihuahua?
Why wouldn't it be? I don't know. It looks like a little dog.
Whatever it is, it certainly distracted me.
Well, maybe that's why it's out there, to distract our players.
Yeah, Adriano Nunez into the game. Ooh, Gerardo being aggressive. You got to love that. He was a solid player for the San Diego Sockers. Whatever. Yeah, obviously incidental. Yeah, he had it.
A little toe poke.
Fouls Brandon Gonzalez. No. It's letting him know, hey, I'm here.
Hi. All right, we definitely got to find a way, again, like I said, to be more of an offensive threat. We've got to get some goals in the back of the net.
And that was we both lost our breath on that one. In fact, we were kind of shell-shocked with it.
Sorry. Sometimes you don't know what to say in those moments. But we've got less than a minute to go here in the second. It's going to take us into the half. We're going to hopefully wouldn't it be great if they could tie it up right now and just go in.
Wish it into existence, Panda. I like it.
Come on, boys.
That ball gets deflected. Chihuahua still has it. Escalante, he's off the mark. You're right. No play-by-play. Sorry.
Can't do it. It's going to confuse everybody.
Is it going to confuse everybody, or is it just going to confuse you?
No, I'm not confused. I see what you see, so it makes sense.
Whatever, you're confused.
I feel like this ref is definitely letting these guys play.
And a save by Gomez. Another attempt. That was the plexi. Oh, broken out.
What was that move? I'll take that again.
Is that Stinson? An opportunity. He doesn't have much time.
2 seconds.
They weren't looking up at the clock.
Nobody's counting down. Stinson need to just take that shot right there, man. Just get it out. Just never know where it's going to land. That's the fun thing about this. Take those shots. Those ricochets are the dangerous part of the game sometimes. And, well, that's it. We made it through an entire first half of our first MASL game for the Empire Strikers. I would love to know, if you're watching, your thoughts on what you think, what this team's doing, how they're hanging in there, likes, dislikes.
Yeah.
I'll let you start.
No, well, yeah, everybody in the chat who's here, however many of you are there, I'm seeing some numbers. I know there's more. Hey, Alex Bastravansky on the screen. Let us know what your thoughts are. But I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen thus far. The shots weren't there, though, in the second quarter, as the Empire only took one. So over the course of 30 minutes worth of action, we've only seen 30 minutes. We've only seen 6 shots from this team. But considering the fact that they were playing the defending champions, to only be down 2-1 at the half is pretty solid. And lo and behold, we have a special person joining us back in full effect, El Doctor! Doctore!
What's up, Strikers fam? What's going on?
You can't scoot too far away because you're blurred. The background is blurred because I don't need people looking at like what the back of my head has. But get in here, get closer. Nah, nobody can see that. Nobody can see that.
So I left work.
Okay.
We were up 1-0. I get here. What's the score? What happened?
It's 2-1. Look, there was
No, I was listening in the car on the way over here. There was a golazo. I saw the game tying goal. I missed the second goal that gave them the lead.
Oh yeah, King on the move. Oh, Yeah, no, it was look, Howard Miller Jr. had the first goal of the game.
I saw that.
Less than 90
Great
seconds in. Kike Kanyes, he had an absolute rocket, bro. That obviously drew the game. And then we have newcomer Javier Gallegos, who put the Savage up on top 2-1. But defensively, the Strikers have been okay. They've only had 6 shots over the course of the first 30 minutes of this game. But I got to tell you, with a brand new team, a brand new coaching staff, only 6 new faces coming back, and even the likes of Hugo Magana, he didn't make the trip. I would say it's a pretty impressive start for this young Strikers team. Speed the Pern, Paul Wright, he obviously has them running around, and I think for their first game, being in a small environment, small arena environment, dimensions in the likes of Corner Sports Arena, actually is going to bode well for this team.
I got to say, goalkeeping to me has stood out for the Strikers in
100%.
that first half. There was a lot of question marks around our goalkeeping situation going into the season.
You can come closer to me, buddy.
Oh, sweetheart. Okay. All right. There's wine for you, Panda.
Oh, we're definitely going to need some wine because we got poor Huff. He had an asthma attack. We just got him some medication.
How's Huffer?
Yeah, a year and a half old. You would have thought our little kitty would have had asthma.
Wow. Well, sucks to your asthma. Oh, sorry. No Lord of the Flies references. Okay. All right.
What am I?
You have, it's Cabernet. 2005 Lancaster Estate Nichols single vineyard.
Sweetie, while you're at it, can I get a refill too?
Yeah.
Thank you. Love you. Me and it.
We don't really have
We're not getting expired. You're fine.
By the way, we spent the whole afternoon doing that. And
This beautiful setup. And look at all the fans we got here. I see Doug. See Saunders. Looks like you're having some fun out there shooting guns, brother. I saw your social media post. Good to see you. Suddy in the house. Always nice to see Suddy. We got Brad from Goals and Boards in here as well, too. Nice. What up? What up, all y'all? There's more people here, but I can't see. I don't have controls.
All good. So, I mean, Brad brings up a really good point, Doc. Savage really settled in that second quarter, but Brandon Gomez has been a bright spot. Like we said, this is a kid who's played in Spain. He's done some things most recently with the Los Angeles Force of Niza. How this kid didn't find his way onto an MLS roster is beyond me, but hey, we're really lucky to have him because, well, to only allow 2 goals over the course of 21 shots in 30 minutes in the very first time that you've ever played indoor soccer at a competitive professional level, I would say he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, look.
No vino for the sommelier, by the way?
I had a glass already.
To go into Corner Sports Arena where you are going to be facing an onslaught of an attack, right? Especially this Chihuahua Savage team that I hands down think has the best pure striking ability of any team in the MASL. Look, they're reigning champs for a reason. When you got guys like Hugo La Roca Puentes, Kike Cañas, I mean, they just have lead feet all over that team. They can put in precise rockets from anywhere on the pitch, and that small court really helps them. To be able to hold a Savage team to just 2 goals and a half, any team at any point in the season, hold Savage to 2 goals and a half, you're going to be proud of your defensive effort. And for a team trying to put it together for the very first time in this Strikers team with so much newness going on, impressive all around.
No, absolutely. I mean, we were asked what our outlook was for this game, and one could argue what our outlook, ask what our outlook is for the season. And I said earlier on, I'm going to be cautious because obviously when you make so many changes to a roster and overhaul it, you're not going to know what to expect. I mean, especially not having an opportunity to see several of these boys in other professional sports. We would have had the opportunity to see some of these people compete on other teams. But in the case of indoor soccer, a lot of the players on the Strikers, they've never played in the MASL. They might have trained and done indoor in some way, but it's tough to gauge a team that is so new with a lot of talent that is young and hungry, but with talent that hasn't played at this level.
No, it's always hard to know who's going to take well to the indoor game and who hasn't, right? I mean, nobody saw Costa coming, well, except for us maybe. First call of the season. I believe first call, I want to go back. First broadcast that we had last season, I called it Gabriel Costa, newcomer of the year. I just, no one seems to have remembered that. So here's Doc just reminding y'all.
I blame Phil.
Yeah, I blame Phil too. That's usually a good place to start when blame goes around in this league. But no credit for calling that after week 1 last year. I just want to say.
Yeah,
pop my collar here for a sec. But the point I was making before I started diatribing and going on this little soapbox here was that you never know how the talent is going to translate, right? I mean, it's one of those things that you have to put these guys out there, and we're seeing that rocket from Miller again. What a great shot. This kid is going to have to bear a big load this season for the Empire Strikers. The amount of workload and the points that are expected to come in from him it's great to see him getting off to a good start and accepting that responsibility. And my goodness, what a volley.
Yeah, Kike Kanye's goal was pretty sick.
Mid-season form Kike, top bar down. Wow.
Well,
little tee up from C7.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys haven't necessarily taken time off. I mean, they played internationally. We got to see a lot of them in that USA-Mexico game at Toyota Arena in September, and obviously a lot of them play football rapido all year long, some of them playing in like the World Mini Football as well. I mean, nobody's taken any time off on this Chihuahua Savage team, nobody at all.
No, and most of them played together, or at least in little groups together on a variety of different independent club, money tournament game leagues and things like that. We saw a number of the Chihuahua Savage players representing in the Kings Cup when it came here to town as well, too. So, I mean, these guys have been playing in some form or another together and now I'm talking to no one.
I don't know what happened.
The screen went white.
The screen is white.
Wait, are we back?
Oh.
Are we back? We're back. Okay.
I think the computer burped.
Okay. Well, my computer's, had a big meal yesterday, I'm sure. Turkey. Hope everybody's Thanksgiving was fantastic. Y'all had a lovely time. Thanksgiving was my first day off in a week and my last day off for a week. So I enjoyed it thoroughly by staying in my PJs for most of the day. Had a killer bird at the house with all the fixins and stuff. Had a couple good bottles of vino.
Nice. You didn't bring over any leftover?
I brought you the leftover vino. You're drinking this in your hand right now, sir.
This is actually quite good.
This bottle of wine I have had in my own personal collection for probably 16 years. So that bottle of wine has been in my wine fridge for 16 years. Some of y'all in this chat probably aren't even 16 years old, but we love you. Hi, welcome to the chat. That's Philly. I'm Doc. Panda's over there.
Yeah.
Over here.
Hey, Panda, why don't you show up?
Oh, good. No, you guys are great. I'm keeping an eye on my baby boy.
Greg has a nice comment. Thank you, by the way. Greg says you both have a great vision of the players. I've been shocked with how much change has happened in Empire. Yeah, us too. League fans are hoping that Paul Wright has gotten it right, with a heart sign. Yeah, obviously we hope so too. I mean, when you overhaul the roster in the way that you do, look, this is either going to be this could be a double-edged sword. It could be massive or it could be detrimental. And so far, it's proven to be pretty good. I mean, you have a team that's been together for the longest time, like the Chihuahua Savage and the defending champions, and it's been good thus far. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Savage are a phenomenal team. The game's been great so far. I was not so astonished at how much change we saw this year, given the way the last two seasons have played out for the Strikers. I think some changes were necessary. As many as they've made, a complete overhaul, who knows? I mean, we're not in that locker room. We're not in those contract and coaching decisions and where these things are made. But it is a radical change, and arguably even more radical than last year, even with the rebranding and everything that went on in the previous offseason. I would say there's been more change to the actual product on the field between last season and this season. And so far, I mean, look, if we have a team that's been able to go toe-to-toe with Chihuahua for 2 quarters so far, the results look promising. I would like to see them find the back of the net. Obviously, putting up just 1.5 goals is not ideal, but it's good look so far. It's so much. I mean, you watched the first game, I'm assuming, as well, too. I thought Wave really struggled to get their shots on goal. I thought they had a lot of good ideas. The ideas just didn't seem to connect. There's only so much you can take away from the first game of the season.
No, I mean, that's never a good indicator. Neither is preseason, but that was an exciting game. That first one, 2-1. I mean, it went into overtime. I mean, you had a really good game. You had, Willie B standing on his head. Paulo Nascimento also playing really freaking well. I mean, Will Niamsi, you had the Huff, Derek Huffman doing his thing, and then Cesar Correa scoring the game winner in overtime. That was a fantastic one. I want to address a question that popped into the chat. Ken Zellers asks, was hoping Roque made the trip. Roque would not have made this trip. But from what we were told, Panda and I, when we went to Strikers practice on Wednesday, Roque should feature against the Monterey Flash. So fingers crossed that we get to see him. Obviously, Roque, immensely talented.
Is it a fox or a dog?
What does the fox say?
It's a fox.
Okay, but they're the chihuahuas.
That's a fox, really?
So for those of you, let's do a little natural history lesson here. The Chihuahuense Desert is home to the largest population of foxes of anywhere in Mexico. So now you know.
This is why you're one of the best darn
Also,
analysts in this league. You fill in those gaps.
From a distance, like a chihuahua, but now that I see the tail, it's definitely a fox.
Yeah.
Just saying. Sorry.
All I know is whoever's in that outfit is sweating their whatever off.
Huevos?
Yeah.
I have to say, the halftime games in Corner Sports Arena are some of the most entertaining ones, and I'm so happy they're putting them on the screen for us to watch.
You know what? I don't know if everybody was able to hear you, but I would love for you to just sit in my seat for a second so I can get up and go to the bathroom, and you can relay that story one more time.
I'll tell a story while y'all are repositioning.
Oh my God. My knees. It's like Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, pop. Excuse me.
There's no one on that side. You could have gone that way. Instead, you chose.
Did he go?
I guess Philly just wanted to travel for the holidays. He was missing the experience of the plane flight and just wanted that awkward moment of passing by the person seated next to you. But
you go front or butt?
Good question. Would I be a terrible person if I say it depends on who the person is that's sitting next to me?
I feel like it's an in the moment decision.
Yeah. You know, really, whatever's more comfortable, whatever seems fluid. You don't want to seem awkward and rotate into it because then that calls it out, right? So whatever calls the least attention to it possible, I would say is probably the best move there. But as far as, halftime and quarter break games south of the border, 100% agree with you. I saw a thing where, for those of you who've ever been south of the border, the rodeo culture is really big down there. And they were actually having guys try and run down and kick a soccer ball into an empty net. But the obstacle, rather than having defenders in the way, was a group of cowboys all sitting there attempting to lasso your feet as you run by. So all these guys are running down the field, full sprint, trying to kick the ball. And there's, lines of guys on either side with the ropes trying to pull their feet out from under them. And I'm sure it is an occupational, safe, and healthy nightmare. But I have to say it was thoroughly entertaining, at least the video that was shared with me online. I'm all for it. Let's do it. I think I actually might have actually been Gio from Goals and Boards that shared it, now that I think about it. So here I am stealing credit from Goals and Boards. Great show. Go watch it.
It's a good thing you credited them. So
I'm not so keen on their predictions this year. Gio, Brad, Phil, kind of looking at you with the predictions, but it's okay. We'll laminate those. Those will go up on the whiteboard at Toyota Arena, and we'll talk to you in April.
Keeping receipts,
Look what I got.
Oh, look who's making an appearance. This is Harry. Harold. He's the brother. He's not the one with asthma, so he's good. So. Oh gosh.
Hello, Harry. So anyway, what are your thoughts on the activities between quarters and halves?
You
got a story.
I don't even remember the last time we were there. It was
They had
hilarious
to do the
because
obstacle course.
Well, they did an obstacle course at the half, and it was a fun obstacle course, but they made the cheerleaders do the obstacle course first. So
as a demonstration,
just to
show the competitors, how it's going to work. Right?
But it was very interesting, and then you see the guys actually go through and do it, and there was a lot of falling, there was a lot of tripping, there was a lot of chaos happening, but thoroughly entertaining, as any halftime show should be. So I would say I would definitely put them at the top of the list of halftime entertainment and just the level of how much I'm actually paying attention to it.
So I would say the one thing this game has caused my phone to blow up the most about is the debut of our new away kits. So I'm very curious what you, Fashionista Panda, if you could put on your fashion goggles for a moment and give me your thoughts on it. What I'm being called the sideways Juventus, I think someone called it, or the tilted Juve, I think is the term that they're throwing around, which interesting look.
I'll be honest. The entire uniform together on the turf, I think it looks fierce. I think it looks cool. I think it's it's definitely got a little flair to it, a little distracting, I think, to opponents. So I like it. I think I like it more as a complete outfit with the shorts and the gradient, the way that it flows down. And I think it matches really well. Sometimes shorts are not very well matched with their top part. But I like them. I think they look good. From this vantage point, watching the game, seeing them on the turf, I think they look good. What do you think?
Someone described it to me as Raiders on top, Miami on bottom, which I thought was an interesting way. We got somebody here saying kits are fire. Look, I'm the last person you should ask about fashion, but I think it looks good.
It's fun.
It's almost reminiscent of the Star Wars kits with like the lightsaber stripes that we had for the Star Wars kit last year. The back kind of has that lightsabery look to it, the way it comes down to the shorts. Yep. Are you done? Bye, Harry.
Bye, Harry.
It's a good look. I like it.
All right, so we're getting ready to start the game. I don't know how off we are with the lag here, but we're about to start the game. I'm sure there's got to be some adjustments. I wonder what that halftime chat was like from Paul.
Finley, what are you doing in the comments, bro? You're right there. You got to comment. Just tell me. All right, you want a heifer with G? Turn around and ask for it. All right.
Try to engage the dialogue.
Also, shout out to Randall out there in Georgia. Thank you so much for watching. And Howard Miller, definitely your boy, and now our boy for sure. I mean, so excited to be the first one of this season to get us into the scoring column. He definitely has that accolade to his name for this season so far. So what do you think we're going to see in the second half?
Well, hopefully a similar goalkeeping performance to what we saw in the first half. I think if we can keep that up, we can keep ourselves in the game. This is a tough opponent. It's a tough opponent on any day of any season. But the first game of a season in which there's been so much changeover, keeping the scoreline respectable and maybe even being able to put in a fight is kind of my hopes for this game, really. I think we all need to sort of temper the optimism a little. You're facing the reigning champs. They've been playing together all offseason. They're a very, very good team. But you've shown glimpses so far that you can go toe-to-toe with this team. So let's keep it up. A little better, penetrating passes through the midfield. Far too many turnovers into the press for me so far. But, if we can just get some of that distribution and maintain some of that possession entering the zone, I'd be a lot happier. Of course, I think most teams probably have a similar grievance.
Yeah, I think so, and I think key for us, we need to get into the scoring column as much as we can, because this team knows how to run the score up, and I feel like that's going to be their objective here. This is what they're going to keep doing, so we have to counter that. And I said this in the beginning: this team didn't know what to expect from us. We didn't know what to expect from them, but they're definitely going to adjust at the half. So however they were playing in the beginning, I think it's going to be an even harder task for the Empire in the second half. I don't know how we're going to adjust, but this team is smart enough to know what they need to do to turn this game around and on its head for them.
Speaking of adjustments, what do you think of Stinson's new hair?
Well, we think from a distance he looks like Adam James, because his pink shaved head looks bald, and we get confused, unfortunately, with this kind of grainy TV. That's what we think.
Adam James just has such a proud shape to his skull, though. It really kind of stands out.
It does.
It's a prominent, proper skull there,
Yeah, but when they're rolling around on the ground, it's really hard to tell which one's which.
You got to think, for Adam James to be back in Chihuahua for the first time since his medical emergency that kept him out of the game last time.
Yeah, for sure. We mentioned that early on when we were talking about how, definitely some redemption in this game for him, not being able to be at that game in Chihuahua last season when his appendix unfortunately ruptured while we were in Mexico. So he definitely is probably, I think for him, and there we see it.
That is Chihuahua in a nutshell, right? They've got no one in the box on the offensive side, right? It's one quick pass right across the top, and they just are able to unload pinpoint precision shots with force. Going straight over top of the keeper's head there. Just three defenders in front of him and a keeper, doesn't matter, can still pick out that corner from 4 feet outside the box. This is what Chihuahua does to every single team. They are just going to pepper you with lightning quick
pinpoint precise shooting.
Fantastic job by the Savage to do that. So we just got to figure out a way to shut them down. And again, find our way inside the back of the net. And can you address this that question right there?
Pitches a tad smaller is being nice. Chihuahua and Baltimore by wide margin have the smallest fields. It changes the game. It undoubtedly changes the game. There is no midfield.
Yeah.
Right. It allows high pressing teams like Chihuahua to take advantage of the fact that when you press, there is less distance between the two lines. It really. Oh, that's a wide open tap in there. That's got to go in. It really does change the game. It changes how you possess, how all of your offense and defensive buildup begins, because these are things that traditionally, yes, you might start them in the final quarter, but usually this is happening in the middle third of the field. And when you have 20, 30 feet less to do that in, that changes the whole tactics of the game. And obviously, it's something Chihuahua and Baltimore use heavily to their benefit. No surprise, both of those teams were featured in the finals last year. Not because of their fields. They're incredibly talented teams that certainly earned it. But they do get a significant home field advantage that matters a lot when you're going into the playoffs. Those few points throughout the course of the season that you're able to garner because your turf is so different from other turfs that you get a whole season to be able to play within that world. And if you get a good enough record, maybe even host a finals there as well too. Something that certainly benefited Chihuahua last year.
Yeah, no doubt a reason why it makes it so hard to play there. So we just got to figure out how to adjust and get our offense going.
Typically deafening in there, although I have to say this is arguably the smallest crowd in Chihuahua that I've ever seen. Now, most of the seating is kind of to the far left and far right of the camera. But even when those moments like this, where you get a chance to look down at the ends, it's not as filled as we are used to seeing. Might just be first game of the season.
Holiday weekend.
You
never know who's out of town, who's
not sure how big a holiday Thanksgiving is in Mexico there, Panda.
Come on. They take all the advantage, I'm sure, to get together with family. Sure. How much family do you think they have in the U.S. and they use this as an opportunity with time off work to go and travel and see family? I mean, come on. We all know tamales are huge during Thanksgiving.
Sure. Tamales, perfect holiday treat anytime throughout the season or year for that matter.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, maybe there could also be something big going on in the world of outdoor soccer in Mexico. Both those that season is in international soccer as well too. Is El Tri playing this week? Might have something to do with it as well too.
I'm sure there's some factors. I don't think they're going to have any problem filling the arena though. So I think first game of the season, lots going on. I think we'll see that play. So my screen's doing a remix thing. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but
Chihuahua has really improved their technology from last year to this year. Just the quality and definition of the cameras looks so much better. I'm sure there's going to be a few tweaks getting that new system dialed in completely, but new angles. This behind the goal angle looks a lot different than it did, and just so much crisper and cleaner on the big wide shots from the mobile cams. Really, really doing a good job this year of trying to up it. Although those swipes are a little
remix of the shot.
A little much.
You excited to grace the bird's nest once again at some point this season?
I hope we get to go. Anytime we get to go down to Chihuahua, I love it. It is a unique position to call a game. I like it. It's bird's eye, and it's right on top of the action. I mean, you have to kind of sit against the rail of the broadcast platform and look straight down to see the midfield action happening right in front of you. Obviously, incredibly loud in there, and that always makes it fun. It always feels like a playoff environment, even just for a regular season game. So, I mean, in that respect, it's a fun place to be. And Chihuahua is such a beautiful city. That whole downtown area, Distrito Uno. I mean, the food is bomb. Drinks are not bad either down there.
It's a very high-end vibe that little
bougie.
Area gets. Yeah.
It's bougie.
It's like you plopped yourself right down in like Beverly Hills.
It's like Rodeo Drive in the middle of Mexico. And
unexpected.
For those of you laughing at us right now, you go to Distrito Uno.
I save.
And you tell me what it looks like, because
yes,
we live not far from Rodeo. It looks a lot like Rodeo.
I had to pull out my fancy shoes and fancy tops while we were there.
Yeah,
you
you got to get dressed up.
I
You
had to
can't
get
just
dressed up.
can't be stumbling around there in a dirty jersey. They don't take kindly to that. You got to class it up when you go to Chihuahua.
Oh. I was saying earlier, people asking our thoughts, and it's really going to take a couple games to really get a feel for this team, and I think for them too as well. I mean, I don't know that this first or even second game here in Mexico over this weekend is really going to give us a good feel for who they are as a team. I think it's going to take time, and I don't. Hey, Philly, did you talk about the travels down there and what these guys? Can I? So, for those of you who don't know this team, if they tire out a little bit, it's going to be because they flew out at midnight last night. I don't know if anybody knows this, but they left from Tijuana at midnight last night and flew in, and they played this game the same day. So, I just have to say that's
what a save!
What a save! That is hard on anybody. It's hard on just going somewhere and just, I don't know, getting up and going to restaurant at 7:00 when you've had a red eye. I can imagine how these guys are feeling having that kind of travel plan for a game like this.
No, and it's not like they stayed down in San Diego prior to getting on that flight out of TJ. They got on a bus probably at Toyota Arena or here in the IE, and then drove all the way down to TJ, which is about a 90-minute, 2-hour drive. Then they probably had to park, cross the border, customs, all that fun stuff just to even get to the TJ airport to get on a midnight flight. So, it was a long evening of travel just to get to the airport before you fly down to Chihuahua. And then, probably had to go through customs there, wait for the bus, get on the buses, head to the hotels. Hopefully these guys got a chance to get any sleep at all. And they're not just,
that's what I'm saying. So
powered by caffeine at this point.
I hope that people keep that in the back of their mind as they kind of analyze and judge this first team's performance, that there are a couple factors outside of that too that I think play into this that we haven't really addressed. And it's certainly the fact that they're probably not as well rested as one should be to play this dynamic and this fast of a game. But I'll tell you this, the keeper, somebody must have let him sleep the entire travel because he is standing on his head for this team right now.
I was calling him San Gomez in the chat earlier. Our buddy Carlos Infante thought it was hilarious. Put it on the broadcast there. I caught it when I was listening to it in Spanish at the office before I came in. He's really the only reason the scoreline is respectable right now. Mansoray had a really good look that forced a fantastic save from Terry Munoz. But aside from that, Empire's got to do a little bit better job of testing Munoz and the Savage defense here.
Yeah, we need a little bit more purposeful ball movement and not just kind of like kicking it around and hoping it finds somebody's feet. You can tell Chihuahua definitely is a lot better at doing that. Real quick, I want to say, sorry to cut you off. Randall, welcome to the MASL. It's new to this sport, and you're going to love it. It's fantastic. It's addicting. It's like the punk rock of soccer. It's fast and furious and crazy, and it's all over, and you don't know what just happened by the time it's done. But anyways, welcome to the MASL, and also I do believe we're going to St. Louis, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to get some of that Skyline chili. Let's go.
Yeah.
Going to St. Louis?
Are we?
I'd love to.
Oh.
I mean, our team is traveling to St. Louis, so we hope that we can make the trip. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But, yeah, we should make it out there. But anyways, welcome. This is so much fun. This is the first time we've done this kind of thing. So
watch along?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just fun. Apologies for not making it at the very beginning.
Thank you for pointing that out. Why did you say Skyline Chili? That's Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, St. Louis. It's all middle.
It's not
all
the same. Thank
it's
you.
The same.
Hogwash. It's definitely not all the same. Not all the same, even in the least bit.
Thank you for pointing that out because you are correct. St. Louis. What do you think St. Louis is known for?
Beer, Anheuser-Busch, good baseball, the Arches, the gateway to the West. I mean, St. Louis is known for a lot of tremendous things. They're called the Show Me State because, well, they always show me a good time anytime I hit up St. Louis.
Oh, my goodness.
I have never been to St. Louis. I've never been to Cincinnati.
I love the Lou. I love Cincinnati. Bro, don't sleep on the Midwest. Midwest is a lot of fun, a lot of great cities, a lot of good places to eat, a lot of great places to grab a drink, a lot of great human beings, a lot of beautiful women, a lot of beautiful men, whatever your preference is. I love the Midwest.
Just when I'm thinking about vacation destinations, I'm thinking about all the beautiful places in the world I could go. Forgive me, St. Louis and Cincinnati just aren't coming to mind when I'm planning that.
Well, change your mind. As a music fan, you should consider Cleveland a destination.
Well, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
There you go.
I mean,
and it's the hometown of the Browns, baby.
Yep. And Braun.
Let's go Browns. Shut
up. So I stepped away for a second, and all of a sudden the Savage get another goal. I will say I'm happy to report that Huff seems to be feeling pretty okay. So the asthma's gone, so we don't have to worry about.
The asthma's not gone.
Well, the asthma attack has subsided, I should say.
Yeah. So.
We need Savage to give up a couple blue cards here. That's what we need.
All right, Randall, teach their own. I mean, somebody could say Cleveland is known as the mistake by the lake, but I have a soft spot for that.
I was told that Cleveland rocks.
Well, Detroit rocks City.
But
look, I love the Midwest.
Cleveland rocks.
I love the Midwest. I married a girl from the Midwest. I went to Indiana University. I love the Midwest. Yeah. We got some Midwest talent on here, and the likes of Justin Stinson and Stefan Mijatovic, Adam James. I mean, we got some Midwest talent up in this piece.
Love to see the good sportsmanship there, and playing the game the way we like to see it. No guy got in there with a little elbow or something, but
what do they call a little spinning elbow, where they do the twist first and then go into the elbow?
Yeah, they teach you that in MMA classes.
What is that?
Laclettes Landing, Riverfront, St. Louis. Laclettes. I'm probably saying that wrong. No, I have not ever experienced
the landing is like, at least the last time I was there, the landing was a part of St. Louis close to the Arches where they had cobblestone roads, and there was a series of really, really good bars. Now, of course, I'm going back to like the early 2000s. I don't know what's gone on there ever since, but pretty cool stuff. And you know what we need to do? Obviously, being a part of LAFC, is we need to get out to St. Louis SC to check out a game. But even more importantly than that, with indoor soccer being around, we need to go check out the Ambush.
I would love to go see a Shrubs game. I'm in.
Too big of a touch there. See if we can get these guys.
That was a good idea there. I like that little flick over the top. Is that Stinson?
Yeah.
Stinson.
I love the comment you made about Stinson's pink hair being reminiscent of Adam James's hair.
Oh, yeah, Gamino is from Cincy.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Mauricio. Absolutely representing the Natty. The Natty's a cool city, man. Remember the first time I ever went there was opening day, Reds versus Mets? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stryker's little brother, Harry.
Distant cousin.
Very distant.
He is enjoying his camera time right now.
That's hilarious. I didn't even realize he was here.
I would rock those pink shorts just by themselves, I'm going to say. Like, I would just wear the shorts.
I like how somebody pointed out in the chat how the keeper's kit is like kind of reversed. Like his sleeves are pink and then the bottom part is black.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Randall in the chat commented, did we get a chance to see the TST tournament? Absolutely. There were about 80 players from the Major Arena Soccer League that featured in that tournament. And well, the three of us had an opportunity to call a lot of them. And obviously that $1 million winning team was a team comprised of nothing but players from the Major Arena Soccer League, players that we've had the opportunity to spend time with, call games for. We have some.
And that's how we ended up with Garrett Bloom.
That's how we ended up with Garrett Bloom. Brandon Gomez was noticed. We have another outstanding player who did not make the trip because he's healing himself. Claude Dielna, who is a veteran of Liga 1 in France, played for Dinamo Bucharest in the top flight of Romania, played for the Portland Timbers, the New England Revolution. We picked up a lot of decent talent and scattered a lot of really good players in that TST.
Philly, of course, well-versed in your Romanian soccer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did not make it out there, but hopefully, what's happening? Paul taking
a picture of the lineup card, so he has it right.
Does he need to know who's on his team?
I felt really bad when we did an episode of Striking Fury. Like, I had a Paul Wright card. I didn't have a Paul Dougherty card, but I was lucky enough to find a Paul Dougherty card on eBay.
Super cool.
It was 99 cents. With $1, it was $1.07 with tax. I'm so excited.
The shipping was more than the card.
He's going to sign it, and it's going to be worth more. But for me, it's going to be priceless.
I don't know that.
Well, I mean, if you're talking the one Renee we know works for our club.
No, I think it's probably talking about whoever you're talking about. Who are we talking about player-wise in TST and?
Well, I mentioned Claude Dielna.
Oh, I don't know.
It's Howard Miller Jr. on the ball.
Maybe.
I mean,
what
he
they see.
still has it. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what anybody else is seeing. What I'm seeing is the fact that the score is still 3-1. You know who we haven't had? This kid right here from Brazil is really good, Doctor.
Did you see that Adam James move there? That slide tackle? Fantastic. Love to see him out here balling.
Which kid we talking about?
19 on Chihuahua. So they picked up a couple of Brazilians.
We picked up Garrett Bloom.
Oh, the guy from Sao Paulo. Yeah. He looks solid.
Yeah, we picked up Garrett Bloom. He's just kind of nursing a little bit of a knee knock, but should be hopefully back in heavy rotation, hopefully in a few games. Would love to see him by the home opener at Toyota Arena in December. So we shall see. But no, he's a fantastic player. He's played for some good clubs.
You know, Andy Nunez, again, a member of the Empire Jets, the developmental team, the M2 team of the Empire Strikers. Andy Nunez was fantastic talent in M2. A person that is very familiar with Garrett Bloom would be that of our former keeper, Chris Toth. If I'm not mistaken, Garrett had a hat trick against
that's right.
Chris Toth.
In the TST tournament.
Yeah, Garrett had like 5 goals over the course of a couple of
games.
games.
Like 5 goals in the 4 game or 3 games, maybe I think they played because they played
the knockout stages.
Yeah, he had he was a goal scoring machine. Good on his feet and definitely caught the eye of the Strikers, and they signed him to a contract. So hopefully we'll see him debut hopefully early in the season. He said he's okay, but just kind of being cautious right now.
Somebody who doesn't need a debut is number 20, Alan Perez, and he's one of the few people that still are on this Empire Strikers team. Him alongside Hugo Magana Jr., they both came up within the it was Fury 2 at the time, full-fledged members of the first team, and Hugo Magana Jr. did not make the trip. And I know it's not because he wanted to stick around and watch the Jets play the Dolphins, because Hugo is a Jets fan, as am I. And it's nice to see a couple of familiar. Yeah, me too. There are a couple of familiar faces on the Strikers team. I mentioned 2. We have Cisse back. We have Stinson back. We have Adam James back. Oh, que golazo, amigo.
All right.
I mean, I think that's second time they've gone bottom left there against our keeper. And there was really nothing he could do about that. Looked like Gomez was screened off the shot here. Comes up, 2 bounces, half volley, and just bang. Someone's got to close that down.
I was going to say, you can't allow him to even make that shot at that point, unfortunately.
That's
you got to get in the way of that.
Yeah, you got to sell your body out there and get in front of that. Perez, unfortunately, comes in and had kind of a rough shift, gave up a foul right when he came in for this shift, and then, it's his man right there that's left unmarked, and that's a rough one. 4-1.
We got to find a way to score at this point. Coming out the gate, we were hot, and then we haven't really done a whole lot since then. So,
look, as we all know in this beautiful sport, a 4-1 lead isn't really a safe lead for any team. So, hopefully, this is something that could kick the Strikers into first gear, and they could absolutely start applying some pressure on Ivan Terry Munoz.
You're absolutely right, Suddy. Bryce Watson, not Matson, did make the Empire Strikers roster. So
Matson.
It was all, remember at the Kings Cup?
Well, no, because we were at the Inter Miami game.
No, but we know
the
story. Come on.
Yeah.
We remember the story. This little guy's cracking me up.
Bryce won the opportunity to try out at the Kings Cup tournament put on by Frank Tayu, new star for Utica City, former Empire Striker.
I mean, Utica's got some freaking weapons, man. I mean, Gordy Gerson was their main goal scorer, and now you put Frank and Gordy together. The interesting thing is a lot of the Utica City fans were shocked that they traded Swift and Mijatovic. Stefan, in the short amount of time that he was a member of Utica City, they loved him. They were really sad to see him go, which led me to believe that, there might have been something really intelligent to this trade. Not that I was questioning it, but we needed a big body, a big, young, talented body in the back, and I think we have that. And Quentin Swift is a nice emerging talent, having been playing at the University of Hartford and excelling in that part of the world. Looking for big things out of both of them. Again, on a team that has a lot of players who have not played in the MASL. I mean, these are going to be guys who are going to be heavily relying on
Hartford, the Whale. No, but I mean, look. Speaking of big bodies, you're not giving up a bigger one than Frank.
I mean, that is a huge piece to move, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, with Frank on this team, it wasn't enough the last 2 years, and so something had to change. And at this point in Frank's career, to be able to get the return like we got for him was, simply an offer the Strikers could not say no to.
That's a terrible angle.
Well, I mean,
Tell the story about Matson.
Yeah. So at the Kings Cup tournament where Philly was on the call, I was on the call.
I was on the call for like 5 minutes, bro.
So was Greg Suddy from Suddy on Soccer. And we had some very last minute handwritten rosters, which the W looked like an N for Bryce. And so we called him Bryce Natson throughout the course of almost all of the day before he finally came up to us and informed us that his family had told us we had been calling the poor guy's name wrong throughout the course of the whole broadcast. So we eventually got it right. He won Young Player of the Tournament, got a chance to come and try out for the MASL, and lo and behold, made the roster for the Strikers.
Wait, did you say N or M?
So it was written as Natson, N-A-T, but his name is actually Watson, W-A-T.
Yeah. Well, I was coming up with a joke. There's some joke there about the person who got fired from the M&M factory for throwing away all the W's.
Yep, for sure. I'm saying this one is not my fault, though, and Suddy can attest to the fact that if you looked at it, it looked like an N. It looked like Natson. So,
Mano. Whoa. I just knocked it.
Hey.
That was just
pulling out cable.
That was something, no big deal, just the power button.
It was clearly a handball, but you know how officiating goes south of the border.
Yeah, it's another reason why it's so hard to play there sometimes.
It's very true. Look, you're not going to get the calls in Mexico that you're going to get. And that just is what it is. You got to go out and win anyway.
You just got to outplay them. You can't rely on anything other than that.
I think it's be Momo called for a foul, contact with Terry.
Have we had any blue cards in this game?
No, we haven't seen any Smurf sightings or any Tweety birds.
Yeah.
We had one Smurf in game one, I believe. That was also somewhat questionably given out as well, too. Hasn't been too much call for one. I actually haven't seen anything in this game that warranted it.
No, and I mean, I feel like the ref has been letting them play. I haven't seen a lot of plays whistled dead. Like they just letting them play. Which, feeling it out. First of the season.
Yeah, and the new 3-ref system, I'm sure they're getting used to it as well, too, having a third body out there.
I can only imagine. I mean, anytime there's changes, it takes some adjusting, too. And
you made the comment earlier, like now I really start to see it. Like usually Corner Sports Arena is filled.
Yeah, that whole upper deck, it's pretty empty.
Plenty of good seats left if you're in the Chihuahua area and looking to catch the fourth quarter.
Dare I say a lot of people didn't go because they had heard through the grapevine that there would be no Philly fan in the Dodgers sighting?
That's quite possible.
They love us down in Chihuahua.
They do
and
love
honestly,
us
we
in Chihuahua.
love the Chihuahuense. We love the Savage support.
It's somewhat ironic that a team from south of the border, typically known for being not the greatest of house welcoming for an away team, and yet I think we probably get treated better there than most away personnel for other outgoing soccer teams, right? It's a very unique environment. You would expect in Mexico to be treated with much more hostility, but everyone there is super friendly with us, super welcoming, super nice, inviting us out, telling us all the great places to go all over town. And well, here we are, guys. End of the third quarter, down by 3 goals. I mean, hey, we won a quarter, right?
I mean,
so really, it's only 2-1 in quarters. One.
I need a phone or something. I need my phone's charging. I need to look at the stats. Y'all have controls. Log me in.
Oh my gosh.
Log me in. All right. Well, there you go.
Harold would like to say thank you to everybody tuning in right now. He's just chilling here. We had to have some kind of mascot for this. So this is our little mini striker.
Little Harry Potter in the house.
Harry Potter. You saw
where's Hagrid and Hufflepuff? Well, Huff is who was huffing and puffing earlier.
Huff is Huff and Puff.
Sorry, that was a terrible joke.
Wait,
that was a terrible joke.
No, I made it. Ooh. I made it earlier in the week. How is the cat named Hufflepuff going to be the one with asthma? So now he's Huff and Puff.
Yeah.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
So.
And I have not seen a Hagrito burrito around as well either.
Oh, him and his sling and his fupa around. Yeah, he'll be out here soon enough. Or his primordial pouch.
His primordial pouch?
It's his protective mechanism.
That's a good call.
Yeah. What are you looking at? Anyways, so we've got one more quarter left. Clearly, Chihuahua has adjusted to the way we're playing and have figured out that we're not really much of an offensive threat, and they're learning.
Well, we
how
are
to shut-
missing our biggest offensive threat in Roque, right? So that's a huge piece of this whole offense,
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, you take a Pereira off Tacoma, they're a very different team.
Yeah.
And we haven't really had a chance to see what the Strikers team looks like with Roque.
Well, that's my point. Well, not my point because I didn't make it, but that's a good point. The fact that Stinson's actually our main weapon, the most well-known weapon. Yes, Roque top 3 in goal scorers last season, but he has yet to feature for us. He will be featuring hopefully against the Monterey Flash. But taking a look at the shots, the defense for the Empire Strikers a lot better. They held the Savage to only 8 shots, albeit one of those like converted into a goal, if I'm not mistaken. 2 of them actually, for that matter.
What did he say? Is that
What did I say?
defense? No, he was just doing his little defense.
Oh, defense like that. I thought you were making fun of me. But we actually had the most shots that we had in any single quarter with 6. So that bodes very well in our favor. But I don't know if you caught the expression of Paul Dougherty as the cameras were kind of looking over at the bench. He sort of had his head in his hands. So we were wondering what Paul Dougherty saw that we did not see. From what I'm gauging right now, we're down 4-1. Chihuahuas had 29 shots to our 12. I still feel that we're in a pretty decent position to make a run at this game.
Yeah, getting outshot 3-1 is not great.
No, it's
Not
not. But I mean, that speaks volumes of Brandon Gomez's performance.
Oh,
he's doing his thing.
If he doesn't get a star in this game, regardless of how it turns out,
Well, they won't give him a star.
Well, I mean,
Not
how
Chihuahua.
stars get awarded is another questionable thing from time to time.
Yeah, stars getting awarded is just literally like pulling them out of a hat.
well,
Come on.
yeah. Usually there's at least one consolation star thrown to the away team.
We'll see. We'll see. How many saves does he have? Do I have that on there?
No, I only saw the shots.
Okay.
And
All
speaking
right.
of shots, cheers, everybody. We hope that you're enjoying your Thanksgiving Day weekend.
We couldn't get anything for ourselves. So
Oh, here, then you could have a sip.
it's going to hurt my run tomorrow.
No, it won't.
They say drinking a glass of wine is like working out for an hour, so maybe this is helping you out.
Who the heck says
Love
that?
to know the research on that.
Yeah, I'd love to know who says that and what they look like.
All right. So
Oh, boy. La Roca, Hugo Puentes.
we are underway.
Oh.
Wow.
That was a beautifully worked opportunity and really should have had a better chance of going in. There's another handball there that does not get called.
And Hugo Puentes is one of those players that if you were starting your own MASL franchise, he would be somebody that you would look at to build around. I mean, he's such a talented player.
Oh, I think he's the best number 9 in the league.
Keep your eyes on Riley Uri.
Literally?
He's been pretty impressive. At least in the first half, I know. I haven't seen him much in this, but Riley Uri being the combine.
Fortunately, one thing we could say is that the accuracy has been a friend to the Strikers thus far because Chihuahua's had a lot of opportunities. Abdul
see, that's what
Mansour.
they call it.
That's not a good call. But that's
We've been lucky that going back, we're lucky that Chihuahua hasn't been very accurate in this game so far.
sure. I think as great as Brandon's shot stopping has been, I'd like to see Gomez be a little bit better distributor of the ball. I think there have been quite a few errant passes from him that have made it difficult as well too. I know in Corner Sports Arena, there's so much pressure for the keeper to try and get his distribution a little further out than one would normally do. I think he's just kind of got to get back into what he knows how to do here. But I mean, you see moments like that where Terry Munoz just puts one on a dime. You're tempted to try and do the same thing. I think he's just selling the foul here. I don't think there's much to it at all.
Taking a nap.
Just making sure the ref saw that one loud and clear. Does look like he took a little bit of a knock there. Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and say he's fine.
He's fine. Come on, guys.
Oof. We've yet to see our first Wallace scorer of the season. Shouts to our friend Brian
still
Coleman.
no- yeah.
Shoot, where's that T-shirt?
Oh yes.
I have, my Wallace scorer T-shirt. I haven't had a chance to wear either.
Big
I
shout out to
wear it
our
all the
score.
time. That's the thing. It's so comfortable that I wear it around the house all the time, and I sleep in it as well.
Yeah,
and
you
so,
do.
Yeah, I love that shirt so much. Hit up Wallace for some dope merch. It's comfortable and it's just fun.
If you're not following Wallace, what are you doing in this chat right now? How can you be in this chat and not be following Wallace?
Gotta follow Wallace.
Like you all are. I know you all are. And if you're not, shame on you. Go follow Wallace.
Absolutely.
And shouts to the homie Brian. Good dude. Hooked us all up with some merch. Go buy some of his merch. Support fan-made merch.
Absolutely.
Right?
Definitely. And it's good merch too.
And team-made merch too,
it's
by the way.
soft. Oh, the t-shirt is so soft.
I trust you're all supporting team-made merch. If you're not, again, what are you doing here? Like, look at this dope hat. This dope hat. This dope hat.
Hello.
This dope hat.
T-shirt.
We're all adorned here. Yeah.
We have all got our stuff.
I don't have any new merch for this season yet, though. I gotta get.
You also haven't been to Ontario since last season.
I was there the other day picking up my car, but that was about it.
Why were you picking up your car?
I was actually just north of Ontario. That's where the body shop was. I got in a car accident.
There's a body shop on the Sunset Strip too. Is it that body shop?
No. But
Harry, we need you some pet merch.
Yeah, we need pet merch. That's a big seller.
You're just chilling, dude.
I mean, I want to see fans out in the arena. I want to see fans in the arena wearing the merch, right? For your home team, whoever your home team is. We know there's people in this chat that are not Strikers fans. Go out and support your home team, Blast fans and Wave fans in here.
And we certainly hope to see you in Toyota Arena on December 15th. I mean, there's still plenty of tickets available. Yes, this is a completely new Strikers team than you're accustomed to, but that's what makes it exciting. At the very least, come out and support the likes of Israel Cisse. He's been there longer than all of us. That's right. Support El Capitan and Stinson and Adam James and anybody who's still there. Support this entire team. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
They are begging for a blue card in the corner. It looks like it is just going to be a common foul.
Not going to get it.
We see Jurado.
That's going to be a fun goal call.
Gerardo Jurado.
I still can't say it.
Jurado.
Why don't you?
Gerardo Jurado.
My Midwest mouth can't say those words. I'm sorry.
Do you remember the very first game we ever called 4 seasons ago? That was against the Tropics. The very first game against the Sockers.
The very first game against the Sockers, I believe we had Slavična Ubiperović and Gerardo Jurado in the same game. And listening to you have to call them passing the ball back and forth to each other is one of the true joys of my life. I'll never forget that moment.
You must not have very many joys in your life.
I mean,
all right. Well, you just
not of that level. No, I mean, that's a high level.
Terrible set piece by the Strikers just now. Just FYI.
I was just trying to talk through that in hopes that we could just forget it.
I was paying attention to the Fox.
What does the Fox say?
El Zorro?
Yeah, that's
What was it, Reggit, who did a whole thing about that on his social media?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Did you know that Fox is Zorro? Did you ever watch Zorro?
I mean, like with Antonio Banderas?
Well, maybe that version or the previous version. I was thinking of the TV show.
Oh,
remember the TV show? Zorro, Zorro, Zorro. The bold renegade carves a Z with his blade.
Was this a cartoon?
That stands for Zorro. No, this was like old television, like
how old? Like I'm older than you are. And
50s, 60s television.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
They used to do replays all the time on TV when I was a kid. It was episodic, but about.
You were one of those rich kids who had Nick at Night. I got it.
Excuse me. I'm not rich. We watch Nick at Night.
But yes,
Oh
I had Nickelodeon.
A lot happening down there in the corner.
Which was just basic cable back in the day.
Nick. Oh!
Nickelodeon. Come on, Gak.
No, our boys need to be a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, you know,
offensively.
Fun story. My father works with the lady who invented Gak.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
What inspired her to create Gak?
She was not trying to create a children's toy. She was using semi-solid polymers in an amorphous state in order to do a number of different things, but discovered that she had created something that worked really well as a toy as well too, and attempting to create filtration devices for things like catalytic converters have a substance similar to GAC inside, or at least used to.
So is GAC an acronym for something scientific, or it's just?
I think it's just an onomatopoeia.
Or is it just like GAC?
I think it's just the noise it makes when you take it out of the can.
This is the type of content you get by listening to us trio. A lot of interesting facts.
Oh, save.
Nice save. Thank you. He prefaced that, so I knew to watch for it. So.
Oh, Terry's selling that.
Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, late call.
Oh, come on. You came out. That's your fault.
That's my boy, Bryce Watson, getting in on the action. Should have had himself a goal. That's
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm gonna call boo on that.
Wow, that is a disgusting dive and a half, and the refs are eating it up in Chihuahua. This is what you got to deal with when you play down there. You know,
it wasn't a dive. It was more like a flip.
It was more like he bounced over him
he
and then
literally
fell.
jumped over him.
Yeah.
Oh, Steph with a shot, but Ivan Terry Munoz is going to deny him. Blocking the King of Chicago on a very valiant effort with less than 9 minutes to go in the fourth. I told y'all I wouldn't go play-by-play, but I just needed to stretch out that part of my vocabulary.
Oh.
See, like somebody here remembers Zorro. Mauricio.
Yeah,
Mauricio.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, Anthony Hopkins, Antonio Banderas.
Come
that's
on,
like the
come on.
90s Zorro.
How was that a foul?
That was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
How was that a foul?
It's not a foul.
Hey, Howard Miller with the same face I'm making right now.
Horse Pucky.
It's not a foul.
Not a foul.
Quatch.
You had the Kvach earlier.
Kvach.
Yeah, the
beer?
German
Oh
beer.
my
yeah.
gosh, that was so good.
Belgian, right?
They serve
No,
it.
Polish.
They
Polish.
serve it in like a funky little serving thing. What is that?
Had it at the Verst House as we were watching the Bayern Kiln game earlier today.
The thing I love about the Verst House is their parking spaces say prepare for the Verst.
Do they? I park on the street.
It's a street.
I didn't even know there was parking.
I think you're at the wrong Verst House.
Is this the one on La Brea?
There's like 15 of
Yeah,
them.
right by the synagogue.
Oh, I only know the.
Look at the little bumpers on their parking space. You know that little cement thing that keeps you from driving too far?
Look
at that next
oh,
to
Driving
oh,
keeps
come
you from
on.
driving. Oh,
That
headed out of danger by Brandon Gomez.
That better have been a blue card. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't, Randall. I had no idea about any other Zorro.
Yeah, I don't know any other.
You quoted like a Zorro from like the Adam West Batman days. I didn't even
Yes,
realize-
Adam West Batman, or maybe yeah.
Adam West was only Batman. He wasn't Zorro too.
No, he was not Zorro.
I just wanted to make
It's
sure.
a great TV show. Kids,
We're on a power play, guys.
go look up. And it had a great theme song.
We're on a power play.
Clearly, you remembered.
Oh wait, they gave it to Chihuahua.
Dog so?
Did you see him switch it?
Are they saying is that a penalty shot?
Oh, no. Oh,
Hold on. Guys, I have no
Tarjeta
idea
azul.
what's going on.
We got a blue card. We got a Smurf. Smurf Village is finally open for business.
For somebody.
Do we have a challenge? Is that what this is? I didn't see a red flag get thrown, but it might be a challenge.
Can we see the replay again?
Wow.
Yeah, the foul
They
had
put-
to have been committed like right in mid turf.
The officiating is ruining what was otherwise an enjoyable match up until this
Here,
point.
let's see
Let's
this
see the replay.
I mean, if there's a blue card, it has to be on them. Like, how's there a blue card if they didn't fall down?
Yeah, I mean he kept the run of play.
Harold's had enough.
Well,
Harold
yeah.
had enough. He's like,
I guess they're saying that it's holding.
Like that happened earlier.
all right, let's see.
Who
Who looks more mad? That's what I need to know.
Clearly.
Oh, they
there's
did challenge.
yeah, there's
it.
Escalante with the challenge flag.
So there's a challenge flag thrown. So let's see.
Head coach Paul Wright,
Head coach
Troy
Paul.
Molina. You know, one thing that's pretty good is poor Choi. I feel like every time we go down to Chihuahua, poor Choi, even though he's retired, has to end up playing goalkeeper because someone gets hurt.
Someone gets hurt or can't travel, or yeah.
All right. So
Wow.
let's see how this goes.
Lots of conversation back and forth here.
Look at Choi.
Chewy,
calling
Chewy,
over
come
the-
here. Come here.
Okay.
Get over here.
Hey.
Hey, come on. Let me talk to you a little bit about my guy here, all right?
Oh,
Cisse
Cisse's
in
fired
it.
up.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Oh,
They're not even going to go back to the video?
No, if they give it to Chihuahua, I think it's horse pucky. I'm sorry. Like, I know this isn't a play-by-play thing. It's very much an opinionated homer kind of a thing. There's no way they should have any kind of penalty on that to give the Savage any kind of advantage.
Well, let's see.
And it looks like that's probably the case because obviously Cisse was fired up.
Yeah. Are they still talking it over? Have they gone back to a video? Are they looking at video?
I don't know.
Bryce stretching it out there.
All right, let's watch it again.
I mean, that didn't prevent him from doing anything. I mean, Kanyes had a clear run. It didn't knock him over. It didn't prevent him from advancing. Was there contact? Yes, there absolutely was contact.
Don't see,
it didn't prevent him from getting further.
There's no
I don't
blue.
even see a common foul here.
I see two guys going for a ball and he wins. And
I mean, they're both jockeying for position. One guy goes down.
What are they looking at here?
They're going to call it like right where he held his arm right here. Unless they're going to call that foul back there.
Oh, they were both holding each other. His arm's on him.
He stiff-armed him. He held him down. But again, it still didn't prevent Kike from advancing.
Are they saying he stomped on him on the way by there?
Like I said, like he fouled. Well, who was that? Was that Alan Perez?
I think it needs to be a wash and a restart and just forget this ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's also I have no idea. That's not even a foul. I don't even see a foul.
They're both saying
I don't even know where the blue card is coming from. What are they saying? Blue card against Empire.
Yeah, give it to Gerardo Jurado.
That is terrible.
Wow. I mean, this has really gone downhill.
Yo, does anybody have a quick, quick patch in to Ryan Sigic? I don't know about this. I don't know about this at all.
If anybody can explain to me, I mean, at least it's not like a penalty kick of any kind, like a dog so situation, like you said. So.
Yeah, but I mean, giving them a power play is basically giving them a goal. Right. I mean, the Savage have one of the best power play units in all of the MASL. Now, I mean, it's not for sure. You could put up a great 2-minute effort here, but that's also 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. You're desperately trying to get back.
That you're not on the attacking side.
You're now desperately clinging to try and not give up a goal. It's a game-changing decision that did not need to be made.
Yeah.
I mean, the game did not need this call. It's not the right call, but the game didn't need it anyway.
What's crazy is that had no bearing whatsoever on his ability to score that goal. He wasn't scoring that no matter what. I mean,
this is
like that. They're both fighting for it. Come on.
I mean, yeah, look, that took a bounce too much, and then Brandon Gomez denies Escalante. It's not as if Escalante got thwarted.
That's not Escalante.
Right? I'm sorry, not Kanyes. Kike Kanyes.
I just don't see anything there. I just see two guys going for position. Like there's some contact, sure, but it's shoulder to shoulder. It's some arms in each other's business, but that's not a foul. That exact contact happens on every play. Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna start giving blues for that.
Yeah, so was Alan Perez.
All right. Well, yeah. I had no idea why Gerardo Jurado was heading to the blue. That made no sense whatsoever. This whole thing is wild.
I agree. It does feel like a little bit of a hometown special. Like
horse pucky.
That's just.
Don't worry, Perez. Nobody believes you for that.
That's a wild call.
What was he supposed to do in that?
I don't know.
They were wrapped up fighting for position.
If two players' arms getting tangled while you're going for a ball in the air is a blue card, it's never going to be.
The entire game is going to be a blue card.
The whole every single MASL game is going to be 5-on-4.
Look, right now, this is going to be very educational because now we're going to have an opportunity. There's Gerardo Jurado. Hey. We're going to get to see the penalty kill for this Empire Strikers team. And I mean, last season we gave up a fair amount of goals to the likes of San Diego with the penalty kill. So it'll be a good opportunity to see exactly how we've improved defensively with this new unit.
Looks like we've got Cisse, Mijatovic,
Adam
Gerardo,
James,
and Adam James in for our power play kill attempt.
Good rotation on that first pass cross.
Super.
No, I mean, this definitely tests your fitness at this point.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of moving the box around and keeping their positions well. I mean,
not giving a whole lot of open space to run the ball in.
I mean, that right there is exactly what Chihuahua's looking to do.
That back post open.
They have those two looks. I mean, those two looks are half. Back post. I feel like that's 90% of Chihuahua's offense is trying to do one of those two things.
Sorry if you lost our audio for a moment. I don't know. We just got muted.
We were ranting. It's okay.
Pretty sure StreamYard said we've talked way too much for them.
The league was like, that's it. Enough talk about that decision. We're just gonna
They're shutting us down. Shutting us down.
I put my head down for a second, just noticing that little faux pas that occurred. We really only have 35 seconds left on this penalty kill. If that's the case, then I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job. Although I would say Chihuahua has not been doing a great job of creating looks.
Well, and they also had a wide open back post that they just missed. And you're right when you say the accuracy. I would love to hear what the announcers are saying about this. But
I mean, we could always turn on the volume for that.
We could always just call Jimmy or message him and ask him to.
Or we could hit up Carlos at the end of the game, who's actually calling this game.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, what happened?
Yeah, can you explain it to me? But no, I mean they have not been accurate. We've said that has been probably their biggest downfall in this game is just missing shots that I feel like they should make.
They are definitely replaying that a lot.
Way too much.
So they clearly feel that should have been a penalty shootout, I assume, for last man. I still don't even see a foul there. Sorry.
Maybe it was like a compromise. They're saying no foul. They're saying penalty. And we're like, you know what? We'll just call it a blue card. No PK. Or shootout or whatever we call it here.
Big 35 seconds here, though. I mean,
huge.
Even though scoring 3 goals is unlikely at this point, just putting
Never say never.
Just shutting down this power play would be a big statement about this team right now.
Well, that's what I think. I think this game is all about some small victories outside of the game itself.
Yeah.
And, something like actually killing a power play. You put that on the list of pros at the end of this game. Like, what did we do well in this game?
We won the first quarter.
Won the first quarter. You guys came out strong and attacking. However, you're playing against a team that has the ability to adjust and play your game better than you. And that's exactly what they've done in these other 3 quarters, unfortunately. So, but killing a power play would be huge. And I mean, there's still 20 seconds left. So, we can't call it done yet. We got to see how they do. But hey, scoring a goal too, a man down would also be another check mark in that column, wouldn't it?
Oh. Mansoray almost went around twice.
So close.
Get around once, though. Good pressure.
Oh!
I think the oh my that I just saw
Munoz with a dangerous pass here.
Back. Oh!
And it was not even a power play goal. It was actually we were even strength.
That's the gut punch right there.
Yep, that's game. I mean, that's an unfortunate goal to give up to. I mean, you're pressuring them. You got them in their low post.
We were so close.
You just, 2 players can't get back, and this happens.
Is that Arturo?
That's Perez again.
That's Flaquito.
This is Perez missing his man again.
That was the second time.
Was that Arturo Valle?
Yeah.
But for the record, he was just coming out of the box, so he was probably a step or 2 behind anyways. So can we say that maybe it was a pseudo power play goal? That sense where he wasn't back marking his man in the position he would have been.
I mean, I think
without the power play.
Cisse's rotated forward out of defense because he's the one contesting the ball in the corner there. So Cisse's already out of his defensive position. So somebody there has to then retreat back and take that spot. Maybe it's Stinson in the midfield, but that leaves you kind of open there. Stinson was probably up front trying to get the ball from Cisse. So I mean, that's those moments in indoor when you have a guy out of position and you turn the ball over, you're in a bad spot. Right?
And you don't have much time to fix your mistake, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that ball that just rolled across the face of goal, not having someone there to tap it in is unfortunate as well, too. But, these are things that the team's going to look at and work on. Oh, now we're in 6th attacker keeper mode. And he retreats back.
Hopefully.
I mean, at this point, you might as well get in some 6th attacker work.
Yeah, play around with how you're going to work that. Who's going to be on that rotation as well. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of things to learn from this game. And, I mean, the best way to figure out, what a team, what their strengths and weaknesses are in actual game time play. And this is the very first time they've had that opportunity. I mean, you could practice all day long, but it's never going to be the same as having a real-time game situation.
Yep.
Mitovich with a shot well off the mark.
Like to see him get a goal. Ooh, that's probably going to be a blue card.
Well, the way he acted, they're probably going to sell it.
Either way, that's going to be a foul. It's going to go against Momo.
That's a blue card.
Yep. Yeah. Another Smurf sighting.
Well,
that one.
Yeah, I mean, that was Smurf. That was very Smurfy.
Yeah.
I mean, you extend your leg that far in triple player, that's and that's if it was not game, it's game now.
Well, yeah, but look, from this point on, we just evaluate exactly how this team deals with this type of adversity. A win in a small like increment would obviously be due to kill this penalty. Perhaps get another goal back. Like going into this match, I'm not too sure that many people would have anticipated the Empire Strikers to be the team that does come out on top. But to only be down by 4 this late in the game, in my opinion, is a win. This is a team that is brand new, competing against not only the defending champions, but a team that has been together, assembled for a couple of years. So that by itself was a monumental task. But I would say that they're going to learn exactly what the deal is. Again, for a lot of these players, this is the first time that they're even playing indoors. So I would say at the very least, this is a W in terms of what this team could be. I would say, if anything, the Chihuahua Savage seem to be maybe, I don't want to say they're exposed, but I'm sure that a lot of people are thinking this is a team that probably should have won by a lot more than what the scoreline says right now.
Yeah, and, from a Savage perspective, they've still only given up 1 goal. It was an early goal, and it was a screamer. And we really have not tested the keeper much since then.
Yeah.
No. Defensively, the Savage have always been tough. And they're even doing it with without what?
That throw. They said that our keeper had an arm on him. That he threw it pretty far.
Straight out of the camera.
Yeah. I know. The camera couldn't even follow it. So
Yeah, look, they're playing really good defense. And keep in mind that Adrian Miller is not even on the turf. I mean, that's a player that you obviously have a phenomenal relationship. We all do. I mean, he's somebody that hasn't even played in this game. So yes, defensively, they have been solid, but offensively, they're really hurting not having a player the likes of Jorge Rios on the team right now.
I mean, I think that's another thing about, the Chihuahuense people and this Chihuahua Savage team and the whole vibe and culture around this team. I mean, all these players are super nice guys.
They're awesome human beings. Oh, that was a phenomenal play. All right, I got to tip my hat off to that. That was, yeah, that hurt.
And you got to track your runners. You got to track runners.
Yeah, that was a power play goal for the Savage. Look at that. Look at that touch and that stretch. Oof. Yeah, nothing that Brandon Gomez could have done on that. Beautiful little one-timer play. We're going to quote hockey.
I mean, just great job creeping in between the 2 defenders. Each defender's looking at each other. Was that your guy? Was that my guy? I mean, that's just taking advantage of, a couple young players there and, smart soccer, right? Find that space in between the 2 defenders. And if you live there as a forward, you're always going to have a good day.
I think the best thing about coming out and playing a team like the Savages, they are going to learn some hard lessons really fast. They're going to go back, they're going to watch this tape, and they're going to hopefully find ways to fix the things. And it's going to be against a team like Chihuahua. So if they can find out how to do that, then hey.
There's your 6th attacker right now.
I was going to make that comment, that we're in 6th attacker territory here for sure. And good, 3-4 minutes of practicing this. Hopefully we get a goal. I would really like to get more than 1 goal in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be a really good morale booster for them as well. I mean, and show them that, hey, these guys are still in it. They're not going to give up. They don't have their heads down, as someone had mentioned in the chat. They're being aggressive.
Yeah.
And again, you can't judge this team off this one game.
Well,
this is going to be a series of
first
games.
game of the season. You're missing your historically best player, I guess. Statistically best player. Looking at his previous performance for his previous squad. So it's going to be a different team with Roque in there. I also think that this Strikers team is probably not going to look the same at the end of the season as they look at the beginning of the season.
No,
I think they're still looking to maybe sign a few players, maybe make a few trades throughout the course of the season, but it's going to take a few games to understand exactly what we have and what those holes are and what's available out there as other teams might slip beneath the playoff line and players become available. You never know.
And we do know that there are some players out there, aside from what we do know, there are some players out there that are still potentially going to make their way onto our roster. Some pretty big names and talent.
Claude Dielna here is just a standout defender who's got a gargantuan shot. That'll probably be the 7th goal of the game right here. And it is, and that's fine.
But Mijatovic cannot give that ball up like that. I'm sorry. Not when you're 6th attacker. You can't just go kick it straight into the defender in front of you, knowing that
There's nothing.
There's
back
nothing
there.
behind you. I mean,
There's
you've
nothing
got to
back
cycle that ball. That's a poor choice for me, and hopefully one that you would agree probably should have executed that one a little better. It looks like he's trying to sneak the ball inside here, and then that's not a great camera look. But
that was a nice little breakdance move.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got dizzy looking at that. I mean, there's the Brazilian Adriano. He's going to be a killer for this Chihuahua Savage team. Look, we're about 93 seconds away from the conclusion of this match. I do agree to all your points, everything that you've been saying thus far. I mean, this is going to be a team that's going to look a lot different. They haven't had that many shots on Ivan Terry Munoz, but you bring in the likes of okay. You have not only a great goal scorer, but a great facilitator. He's a guy that, he will lead statistically in goals, but he'll also, that was a golazo. Yep, Hugo La Roca Puentes. That was that's one heck of an exclamation point for the Chihuahua Savage.
And this is the thing, right? I mean, we had a 2-1 game at the half, and things were looking normal, and now this game's completely gotten away from us. It would be nice to go into Corner Sports Arena one time and not get blown out, is all I'm saying.
You know what? It would be even nicer to go into Corner Sports Arena while we are there to call it and win. And we still have that opportunity at the end of this season with a team that's going to look, again, completely different. So for the Empire Strikers fans out there and the supporters watching, don't get down on this game. Yes, the scoring line isn't pretty. Keep in mind, 2 of those goals were obviously result of empty netters. But this is a team that's finding its identity, going into a very hostile environment against a very talented team that's been together, defending champions. The fact that they were able to keep it competitive for as long as they have, to me, honestly, it is a win. There's nothing to hang your heads down on. Obviously, there's going to be a whole nother opportunity to redeem themselves in Monterrey, in a new arena, by the way, because they're not playing in Arena Monterrey. They're playing in Arena Borregos. What about my phone?
I know mine.
I don't know where your phone is. But this isn't anything to get down on, folks. I'm actually very optimistic after witnessing what I've witnessed. And again, with the likes of Claude Dielna coming back, Garrett Bloom, we got a smirk.
We got a blue card. We're going to go on a power play for the last 26 seconds of the game. The comeback is on. 7 goals in 26 seconds. Here we go.
Let's set some records.
This is a reckless challenge for sure.
Oh, I couldn't see it because there's a guy there.
But
Look, I'm still feeling good about this. No Garrett Bloom, no Claude Dielna, no Lucas Roque. I still think that this is a team that can find itself. And that was a heck of a shot.
that would have been a nice little icing on the cake here at the end of the game. 20 seconds. Let's get one, boys. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, to get a power play goal right here would be that would be tremendous. Doesn't look like it's going to happen right here. Gotta love the fight, though. I mean, they're still battling as if it's a very close game, and that to me is pretty awesome. Yeah, Gerardo is going to kick that sucker out of play, and that's going to be the end of the ball game, folks. Again, I'm quite optimistic about what I've seen here from this young team. They haven't given up. They kept fighting. They're fast. They just have to figure out the attack.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of good pieces we saw today. Howard Miller Jr. looks really good. He's going to be a big piece of the attack for this team. Some of the role players that are stepping into this team are starting to figure it out. Some of the young guys from last year that are going to have to take that next step. I mean, it was all there right before us to see. Some of the rawness of youth, some of the talent that we were able to bring in. It's not gelling yet, right? We got to go see some Dr. Scholes for these boys. They got to be gelling.
Like a felon.
By the time we get to December 15th. We'll see what micro adjustments are made between now and Sunday.
Like the last time we went into Corner Sports Arena, well, I guess it wasn't the last time, but back in February when we were there and we called the game, they put up 11 on us. So, with that team. So this is extremely difficult team to play against, an extremely difficult arena to be in. So everybody take a big collective deep breath and understand that, this is going to be a long season. We are definitely going to grow. As you said, I guarantee you this will look completely different, probably in just a few games even.
Yeah, I think our last 2 games there, we gave up 9 and 11 goals. So this is improvement. I like that positivity.
I love it. And, let me just throw another little thing out there for y'all. Indoor soccer is back, baby. Woo! We got treated to a lot of fun games. Earlier on, the Milwaukee Wave did defeat the St. Louis Ambush on the road, overtime goal goal. Cesar Correa, a brilliant goal. That was fun. And we got treated to a brand new Empire Strikers team, unfortunately falling to the Chihuahua Savage. No real surprise there. Like a win for me, honestly. Like I'd hate to say it, was just keeping it under 7. So that was a win to me, just not knowing what to expect.
We didn't keep it under 7.
I don't count the two open netters.
I don't count the 2 open netters either, and I'm with Panda on that.
We won the first quarter.
That's right. Let's take away these small victories. Final score. Fortunately, Chihuahua Savage is going to come out with a win, 8-1.
No, they only won 3 quarters. We won 1, so it was 3-1. 3-1.
Look, let me ask y'all a very important question. And by the way, for those of you who stuck it through with us, we really appreciate that. Is this going to be a team that goes to the playoffs or not? Starting with you, Doctor. No reasoning. A yes or a no will do.
Yes.
Panda?
Yes.
1,000% yes. I do think this is a team that's going to contend. And they believe it too. They believe it.
I think unlike our last 2 seasons where, we were much better in the beginning and middle of the season, and then we kind of, flubbed it up at the end.
We're doing the opposite this year?
I think we're going to do the opposite. We might start off a little rough, but I think we're going to gain momentum. We're going to gain a lot of, the cohesion's going to come together. And I think we're going to get hot at the right time, and we're going to make that push, and we're going to make it to the playoffs. And it's going to be a fun season for us.
She's smart. I'd listen to her.
Yeah, I would
too. I would love to see that happen. I do think this team is going to get better as the season goes on. It's not a very veteran-laden team like in the past that was wearing down at the end of the season. I really think that youth is going to shine. It's probably going to take a half dozen games or so for this team to really figure themselves out. The question is, at that point in time, will they have dug themselves a hole too big to climb out of, or will they be able to come back? And really, the next 5 or 6 games is going to determine how big the hole is. We all anticipated the hole would be there, but we all firmly believe that once coaching and players get a chance to adapt and move forward, this team is going big places this year.
And there's our good buddy Carlos Infante with Brandon Gomez, the goalkeeper for the Empire Strikers. And trial by fire, folks. He obviously, this is his first game starting in between the pipes for Empire, his first major arena soccer league game. And what were y'all's thoughts in terms of his performance?
He had an amazing first half. I don't think there was much he could have done about any of the goals in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think any of the goals had anything to do with his level of goalkeeping in this game. I think it's, defensively, we've just got to close down a lot of those spaces a little better and mark our men better and, let him do his work when those shots do come in and, creating those impossible angles that you just cannot get to. Unfortunately, that's going to happen. And this game could have unraveled so much quicker had he not been the guy that he was in goal.
Yeah, Chihuahua tests a goalkeeper's ability to distribute the ball more than any other arena, except maybe Baltimore. He was really put to the test in that regard today, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement there still. That, to me, would be the one part of his game that I think, coaches are going to come back to him and say, we need to try some new things here. But that'll come to him in time. That's a veteran savvy that someone playing in their first MASL game is not going to have that skill set yet. But the raw shot-stopping ability is there.
Yeah.
Does he have the ability to learn, adapt, grow with the game? Or is he going to be another one of those keepers that could stop a great shot, but the mental game never catches up? That's the test for Brandon this year. It's not going to be the physical game. It's going to be the mental game. And I trust in the Pauls that they found somebody who has it between the years as much as they have it between the pipes.
I think that's one thing that Chris Toth always brought to our team was the mental aspect of goalkeeping. He made incredible saves, of course, but he was also very smart.
Intelligent man. Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He was always thinking ahead. He made smart plays. He hardly ever had those balls where you're going, what are you doing? And I think that's where, that's very important. And I'd love to see how his mental game develops for sure.
But every keeper is going to have a couple of those moments where they make mistakes.
Players in general.
Toth, it doesn't matter who they are. All the greats make mistakes too.
Yeah.
So.
Either way, if you guys enjoyed this, let us know if we should do this again. I don't know if it was awkward or weird. I know we certainly enjoyed talking about it. What's not to love about watching your favorite team play one of your favorite games with some of your favorite people? because I certainly enjoyed it. So again, if you liked it, let us know. Hit us up. Give us any tips, anything you think would make it better. We should just throw the whole thing away. I mean, you can tell us that too. Like we said, we know you guys in the MASL do not hold back on your opinions. And if you want to see more Harold appearances too, let us know.
Harold's loving his camera time.
He is.
He's enjoying this more than anyone else
I
here.
did not realize he was such a Hollywood cat.
Yeah, you are. Huh?
He's all about it. So, anyways,
this was a lot of fun. Sorry, I missed the first half or so. Start time change to the game didn't help me there either, but I was at work. But I had a lot of fun doing this. I apologize. I'm going to be working through the whole game on Sunday, so I will miss every minute of that. I'll be trying to follow along in the chat as best I can. But it's just good to be back with the fans. It's good to be watching indoor again. And hopefully 24 hours, 48 hours from now, it's a W.
Let's hope so. We're back. MASL is back. Strikers are in some good form, I think, starting out the season. Don't you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is fun. We've obviously waited a very long time for the return of the season. And while a lot of things that obviously shocked all of us, this trio included, occurred, we're certainly looking forward to bringing you a lot more content. Striking Fury podcast to come out early this coming week, obviously after the Monterey game. We'll finally be back on the call December 15th as we open up Toyota Arena for what is going to be our, fourth season. Be behind the microphones at Toyota Arena. So, excuse me. So we're certainly looking, I'm getting emotional. We're certainly looking forward to seeing all of y'all again. And hopefully you enjoyed this. We put this together very last minute. So hopefully it was, as we like to always do, make it informative, educational, and entertaining. And we'll see you as this season matures. Much love on behalf of myself, the doctor, Panda, and of course the illustrious Harry. We love you and we bid you adieu.
Bye-bye.